Well, they keep fooling around with the schedule. First, you guys had to go to West Las Vegas on a Thursday, so that's a short week. And then today it's a long week. So just for the heck of it, when we start here, it's like, so does this extra day do you guys any good? Or?
Well, we definitely hope so. I mean, we definitely we had a couple, had one injury last week, so we've done a little bit of movement and moving guys around on the offensive line this week. So hopefully this, that extra day, gave us a little bit longer to prepare. Anytime you get an extra day, you want to just make sure that you use it the best you can. So we just been telling these guys, hey man, this gives us one more chance to get ready. We get to play on Saturday afternoon like the big boys, so just have some fun with it, and let's go at it.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon football is fun. I like Saturday afternoon football. I don't know, there's something about it. It's just, it always used to be always Saturday night, Saturday afternoon football. And I don't know, it's just something about it, especially in the fall in October and playing Saturday afternoon. It's, I don't know, it's just some kind of a tradition type thing, I guess.
We always did in college, and, big guys get to play on Saturday, and, it's during the day, I told these guys, I was like, we don't have to worry about school. You don't have to worry about classes. You don't have to worry about homework today. We get up, got a little bit of breakfast, hung out for a minute, started getting ready, and go play football, man. You just focus on that. It's just nice to you don't have anything else you have to worry about. You just go focus on, what's important right now. And man, that's kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah, when you're a high school football player, it's a perfect day. This is what I want to do. I want to play football.
Absolutely.
So, well, anyway, when they did the redistricting for the this year, for the last the 2 years, this year and next year, I must say they handed you guys a tough nut to crack. I must say, because putting us in a district with Farmington and Piedra Vista. Farmington right now the number one team in the state in 4A, and it's just that kind of competition is just kind of crazy too. Because then we're in there with Miyamura, who we played today, and I was trying to figure out why isn't Gallup in our district too? They have two Gallup schools, but they split them in district. I don't understand what their logic was. But anyway, they ended up putting you guys in with Piedra Vista and Farmington, two of the more powerful schools in the state, and football, and big schools. And then of course we're in now with Miyamura and Capital, which is we're more competitive, of course, with those schools, and it's tough to go up against the number one team in the state.
Well, it's always tough, but. Regardless of what you do, we're going to prepare the same way. Everybody, I don't know. After the last couple of years, everybody's like, well, it's big school, and and yeah, you're right, it is. But when they're on your schedule, you go play, and we don't try to make, we're not going to make, excuses about anything. We're going to go try to prepare as well as we can, try to put our kids in great positions, and give them opportunities. Farmington is definitely number one in the state for a reason. The size of those kids, they have one of the most, that was probably one of the most athletic teams offensively and defensively that we've been up against since I've been here. What a defense. Their offense can score a lot of points, but man, their defense was physical and fast, and I think they've given up about maybe 2-3 touchdowns all year.
Yes.
What an impressive feat. I thought we going in, I thought we matched up a lot better against PV. going into that game, we had, I thought we had a great game plan going against Piedra Vista. They run a lot of flex bone and belly and, stuff that we ran for years here. So we really felt good about going into that game. We got up there and just, that first half, we just had a hard time finishing on offense. We get something going and, we get a penalty or something that kind of put us back. We had a lot of pressure up front. Made some decisions that kind of put us in a hole a few times. And, but at the same time, our defense, especially the first half, just kept playing like crazy. We ended the game with 6 series that were 3 and out on their offense. I mean, it did a great job. Just, we got going, held them 3 and out, put ourselves in a hole. Held them 3 and out again, put ourselves in a hole. Got moving. Finally kind of thought we got some things going, got a penalty, and then got a turnover. And still just kept holding them. Still kept holding them. It's, into the second quarter, I mean, we're still, 6-0. And then, we give up another series and end up giving them a touchdown. And, we're going in, trying to go into the halftime, and it's 14-0. And so we were still feeling pretty good about what we were doing. But went for it. We were kind of moving, went for it, had about 15 seconds left, and we're thinking, hey, man, our defense is doing a great job just holding these guys. Let's finish this, finish this half with, something positive. We don't get the 4th down, and they chuck a bomb on us, and, we get a little out of position, and they get a bomb with 2 seconds left in the quarter. Wow. And just, and that just, probably as a head coach, I probably should have punted the ball, just, make them work a whole field. I don't know, it would have mattered if they get a bomb on us. They broke it anyway, so, 50 yards or 60 yards, I don't know. But, I know that kind of hurt us going in. Came back out, did well again, and then just gave up a couple possessions. And, I think once you get to that point, start losing control of stuff. I hated, I thought our kids did a pretty good job of keeping things tight for a while. We just had a hard time executing on offense and getting things going, just maintaining. But our defense, man, I thought we did a great job. 6 3 and outs again against them. But when you keep giving guys the ball over and over, giving them those opportunities, they're eventually, they're a great football team. They're going to take advantage of them eventually. So, and then towards that end of that 4th quarter, we just kind of lost control of stuff a little bit. So, thought our kids played hard. Like I said, it's hard coming off of that, and 2 pretty dang good teams in a row. So, hopefully this week, I think we match up pretty well with these guys. Hopefully we can get some of that little bit of that swagger back that we've had, early on before we started district, and, go win us another one.
Well, you had a similar situation when we played Farmington. You had you played Farmington, had an open week, and then had Piedra Vista. But when you played Farmington, I think the thing that was interesting was that, they started off, like you say, very, very good team, and then they scored fairly easily to start things off. But then it wasn't so easy after that. Your defense then really rose to the occasion, and we held them on. We held them on a couple of series, and then we got the ball moving, and we got that ball all the way down to the 2-yard line. I think it was a 2, and we had like the 1st and goal or something. We were going to score. There wasn't any question about it, and we coughed up the ball. Yeah. And it's like, And when you're a coach, that's got to be like, oh my God.
No, absolutely. It's hard just to, it gets frustrating, and I know it's frustrating for the kids as well. But it gets frustrating when when you know what you got. We got good kids, man. We got some great athletes. And just to know that, most of those things we did, we shot ourselves in the foot, and I think that's, Farmington, they're, who knows how it was going to go regardless, because, there's a reason those dudes are number one. I think that Piedra Vista game could have been different had we kept things going with just the way our defense played that game. And then we gave up. They got 2 kickoff returns, one where they pooched it and we let it set on the ground, and kind of, I think we were kind of reeling from that bomb that we gave up, and just kind of stood there and didn't jump on it. I think some of that was kind of a result of the play before. And then kind of they went down, had about a 10-play drive. I think that was, I think that was the only really big drive that they had. It was right before, in that into the fourth, before that we turned over that kickoff return. And even that long drive, we made them work for that. So, hopefully, like I said, this week, we kind of, I think we match up pretty well. And our goal all week has just been to make sure we're, not shooting ourselves in the foot by turning the ball over, getting to the 3-yard line and fumbling a snap or something like that, getting the drive going and fumbling a snap. I think it's consistency. That's something we've been working on all week in practice. But I think that's, it's also kind of a mental thing too. When you got, some young guys, especially up front, where we got to be consistent up front to, open some holes for our guys. We've done a lot of movement the last 2 weeks on the offensive line, moving guys around, trying to find the right fit for some guys because of some injuries. So hopefully we got that. They've looked good in practice this week, so hopefully we find that right fit and just stay consistent this week.
Yeah, well, Miyamura, who you're going up against today, is they're struggling a little bit. They're 2-6, and they lost to Capital last week by a score of 22-6. And so I'm sure you've seen this Miyamura team one way or the other. But so now we've moved over to a Saturday game. So what do you expect to happen this afternoon against?
Well, they have, they're going to be a spread offense. Their one big weapon is their quarterback. He's a great athlete. He's the guy that's responsible for the majority of their plays. He's great at scrambling, great at getting out of the pocket, great at just making things happen. A lot of QB draw type plays. They want to spread you out. Try to give that kid the opportunity. I think if we can control him, keep him in the pocket, just prevent him from, getting those explosive plays, we got a great chance of having a good game and beating them, because that's their goal. They know it. They've struggled running the ball. They've struggled passing in a few games, just being consistent. Kind of like us, just being consistent. They have a huge offensive and defensive line, huge. They don't move extremely well, so they try to protect, set in there and protect that kid and let that kid do all the work. So I think we got a good plan of just keeping him in the pocket, doing some things to spy the quarterback, putting pressure on him in past situations with our secondary, because we got good athletes in the secondary. So we want to put the pressure on that kid and make them kind of play one-sided just with him.
Yeah, well, it sounds like the defense has their work cut out for them.
Yeah,
at least
absolutely.
they know what it is they have to do, and so it's like you say, when you have a team like that has essentially a one-man weapon, and so the job is now we got to shut him down,
Yeah.
and that's what we have to do, and so we got to really have to focus on that. Then on the other side of the ball, when you guys are on offense, and what is their defense like? Are you going to have any trouble with them?
Oh well, they do have some speed in linebackers and secondary. Have some good speed. Their main things they have, like I said, they have some big, maybe one of the biggest lines, offensive defensive lines that we've gone up against. So I part of our plan is make those kids move. Make them run, try to get them tired, and then try to put them in bad positions, so we can be successful running the ball. So get things out on the perimeter, and I think after the last 2 weeks, especially offensive wise, I think we just have to get back to, I told our kids that, doing, the things that we do the best, the things that we've been doing most successful all year. You go back and, you look at your offense, you self-scout yourself, and you look at, hey, what passes are we completing? What runs are we good at? What throws do our kids, what concepts do our kids understand the best passing wise? We're going to spend our time focusing on those, trying to, let Jake at quarterback make easy decisions. I think we know pretty much what they're going to give us, offensive and defensive wise. So, up front and in the secondary, what are they going to give us? What can we take advantage of? Let him make those easy, good passes, easy decisions. Then put the ball, in Teek's hands. Let him run the ball on those guys, because I think we can do that. Because those guys, like I said, they're big, but they're not. They're not going to move. They're not quick movers. They're not slanting. They're not moving. They're not trying to confuse your blocking schemes like the last two teams that we've seen. We've struggled with teams that have done that to us this year. These guys aren't quite that way. They're going to kind of set up in the front and just try to manhandle you. So we got to get things moving, get them moving, tire them out a little bit, get the hand in the ball in the hands of our quick wide receivers out on the side, outside, get them moving quick, and so we can get those creases up inside to Teek and let them run the ball a little bit. I think if we can do that and just be consistent. And not try to do anything crazy. Just let our kids do what they do best. I think we can do a great job.
Yeah, so it sounds like we're not going to do a lot of up the middle stuff, I guess.
We will. We will. That's part of our game plan. It's just, when do you do that? When do you do that?
You got to keep them honest.
You got to keep them honest. You get them moving. Those big guys, you get, when you have guys like that, you get them moving side to side. And then you start attacking. So I think we got a good game plan with, what we need to do and how we need to use those, how to use them and control those guys. So hopefully these guys can do it and just have fun. Like I said, it's a Saturday game. Just have some fun. You don't have anything else to worry about. Just this.
Yes. Well, I imagine, a situation that, if you can get some, like, even short passes or something out onto the flat or over to the side or on a slant or something that, when you have receivers like Jeremiah, if he gets the ball and has a few steps, then he's so fast and he's so hard to bring down.
Yep.
He could be a real weapon. So
Well, he definitely is, and that's part of it. Is we got to make sure we get the ball in his hands early, get him out in space, so they start moving, taking control of, trying to take care of that stuff, so we can, run our run game. So it kind of it all works together. Just kind of when and where you do it, what they're going to give you. A big part of what we do is who do you need to attack. How are you going to attack certain guys? How do you get them one-on-one? And, take advantage of that.
yeah, well, today, if they, like you say, get back on the winning track and get some of that swagger you had after the first two games, and of course you've had a rough go this year. I mean, we didn't have a pansy ass schedule by any means.
No. I mean, we've had it's been a good schedule. I mean, with St. Mike's and Taos, definitely the two Farmington schools, man. I mean, it's been a good schedule. There's been a couple games where we've, I think, given some things away that I wish we had, could go back and redo a little bit. But that's why you do this. You got to take advantage of your situations. So we'll see. That's the plan today.
Well, it'd be nice to get a big victory today, and then get the kids pumped up and get some momentum. And
absolutely.
Next week is down to Capital, and maybe Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
Yeah, who knows? We're not going to walk down there, so we'll be all right.
Yeah,
we'll go play when we need to play.
So you were telling me before we went on that you're pretty healthy, except you have the one young man with a broken finger.
Yeah, we're pretty healthy. Most of our guys are pretty healthy. Had a bronch cone. One of our guards broke a finger last week, so he's gonna be out. We'll see if we can get him back with only about a week left to go. So we'll see. But other than that, most of our guys are doing pretty well. So I've been pretty pleased. We've had very little. Last couple of years, I mean, we've dealt with a lot of injuries. It's been pretty blessed this year to get through being pretty healthy. So got to stay that way.
Well, when you have an extra day like this, like when the Friday night practice comes around, you guys take it more easy, or?
Well, Friday, the day before is always our pregame practice. So it's a lot more mental stuff, going through driving the ball, going through special teams, going through situations. So we kind of a mock game type style where we go through all the different situations that we think we might see. It's hard to get everything, but we go through drives, go through all our specials, onsides, hands teams, kicking out of the end zone, safeties, all that stuff we kind of go through when we might need to do it, just so those guys are comfortable, the next day. It's usually pretty short, just mental stuff. They did a good job yesterday, so hopefully that flows right into today.
Well, very good, Garrett. So I want to say thank you for coming and talking to us, and well, good luck on this afternoon's game, Saturday afternoon football, and get that victory and get that
Absolutely.
swagger and get that momentum and take it down to Santa Fe next week.
Absolutely, that's the plan, man. Thank you guys for coming and talking to us and doing this for us, man. We certainly appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, this is Gene Mortensen, been talking with head coach Garrett Williams, and we'll be back momentarily to bring you Saturday afternoon football as the Hilltoppers will go up against from Gallup, the Miyamura Patriots. So we'll be back in just a little bit.
It is a beautiful afternoon here in northern New Mexico, a beautiful autumn October day, and a perfect day for Saturday afternoon football. I love Saturday afternoon football. And this ball game, which was supposed to be last night, has been moved up to today because, nobody wants to work anymore. So anyway, big lack of officials. We got bumped back to Thursday when we went up to Las Vegas for the same reason. But anyway, this afternoon, it will be the Los Alamos High School Hilltoppers going up against the Miyamura Patriots. And I know probably everybody else, I'm not sure, but when we had a new school in Gallup and it was to Miyamura, I presumed that was an Indian name. Turns out it's not. It was a Japanese hero. Was his first name Naroshi or something like Naroshi Miyamura? Anyway, that is who it is named after. And this afternoon, the Patriots will take on the Hilltoppers. The Patriots coming into the ball game are 2-5, and they are 0-3 in district play. Los Alamos is 0-2 in district play, and they are 3-5. What did I say? Miyamura, they're 2-6. And I saw Los Alamos right now is 3-5. So these two teams seem to look like they're going to match up pretty well. When the pregame interviews you heard, if you listened, Bob Scott was talking about their quarterback, and he's kind of the way Garrett, not Bob Scott, Garrett. All those years I interviewed Bob Scott. Anyway, Garrett Williams was talking about their quarterback, and kind of a do-it-all quarterback. He's supposed to be a very good athlete, and he can run, he can pass. And Garrett was saying, well, that's who they're going to have to shut down. This is Gene Martinson, along with my good buddy Mike Mays. And so, Mike, I know you love Saturday afternoon football just like I do.
Oh, absolutely. You can't beat it. That Friday night stuff. Who needs that? Who needs it? But anyway, great afternoon here for football, and teams are looking good. The Patriots and the Hilltoppers going to go meet in the center circle there to do the coin toss. And I'm looking at the Patriots across the way. They are enormous.
Yeah, they're a big team.
They have their line. Presumably their linemen, they're big and they are built, so that could be a challenge for the Toppers up front today. And we are underway. See Jacob Green out there, as well as Matt McNeil, and I think that's Tiki Nieto doing the coin toss.
Yeah, and I'm looking across the field at their tight end. It's Ashton Marshall. He's 6'4", 266 pounds.
That's a big guy.
Yes, he is a big guy. Wow. But they got a lot of big kids over there in that lineup. So here's the coin toss. Let's see how this turns out. It looks like Miyamura won the toss. They did. And so let's see what.
I guess we'll see. I'll get the official call here in a second. Miyamura did win the toss. They will get the kick, and they will head to the western side of the field. The Toppers will defend the west goal, and they will head east. So Miyamura to get the ball first here in this first quarter, and finally home finale for the Toppers here this afternoon, Gene. And Topper defense will be out there first, and I'll set those for you right now. Up front, the nose tackle is Zach Schwarzkopf. He's a junior. Eliseo Valdez is one defensive end, and then John Delgado, the other defensive end. The linebacking core for the Toppers on the outside is Jahorn Quintana, and on the other outside linebacker, Jackson Blair. Inside are Damian Martinez and Tiki Nieto. And the secondary for Los Alamos, the strong safety is Jerry Hartzall. free safety Caden Thornton, and on the corners, Alex Pasulka and Malachi Gutierrez. And here we go with the kick.
Charles Steinkamp going to boot it into out of the end zone.
Wow.
Forget it.
Nice kick.
Wow. I mean, that sailed down there, and standing back there was Chris Chavez and Abdullah Alai, and all they could do was stand there and just watch it fly over their head. In fact, it flew it came down outside the end zone, so that'll move it up to the 20-yard line, and that'll start things off for Miyamura. And they will go 1st and 10 as we get underway here in this ball game. No time off the clock, of course, on that kick, since all it did was just fly out of bounds. So they're going to line up, and boy, they got a big line. And so the quarterback is Isaiah Martinez, and the only information we have on him is he is a junior, but they're going to run out of he's under center, and so he's going to roll to his left, and he's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage. Boy, I'm telling you, wow. I mean, everybody was there for Los Alamos, and leading the charge that time was Jahora Quintana, and helping him out was Jeremiah Hartzell. I mean, and also in on that tackle was Josh Duran. Boy, he went to roll to his left, and boy, he didn't go anywhere. He lost this 7 yards on the play there at the 13-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 17 for Miyamura. They line up now in the spread, and so they'll be out of the shotgun here. Isaiah's dropping back, looking downfield, and he's going to be sacked inside the 5-yard line. Wow. Boy, and Tiki Nieto, boy, come charging in there, and wow, he just came out of nowhere. I thought he almost got him for a safety, but he's all the way back to the 4-yard line. Wow. So it's going to make it it's going to be 4th and 26, it looks like, or 3rd. I mean, let's correct the down, sir. So 3rd down and long, and they'll run out of the shotgun again, and they're having to run out of the end zone right now. Is the topper defense? Isaiah Martinez dropping back. He's going to air it out. He completes the pass, but that's going to be nice catch upfield and that's going to be Antonio Lovato. And so, but that only brings it up to about the 22-yard line. So it's going to make it now 2nd down and 8 on their own 22. So let's see, back to kick and punt formation. That is right now is Abdullah Alai. And so Abdullah will boot it away. It's going to be a very, very short kick. Los Alamos should get away from it. They decide to field it, which was sometimes not a very good decision, but that was Malachi Gutierrez. Of course, Malachi loves to try to run kickoffs back. So, but the Hilltoppers might end up with very good field position to start their series here in this first quarter.
Yeah, short punt there by the Patriots with the Toppers on that defensive series, Gene, just getting all kinds of penetration. And really not much at all for Isaiah Martinez to do. He even got hit on that pass he completed. He got hit in the chops pretty good. And looks like we have a penalty, and that's going to be a hold on the Toppers, I guess, during the return. That must have been a really late flag.
Really late. I mean, so that moves them all the way back to their own 44-yard line. So they'll start on their own 44, and it's a 1st down there and 10 from that point. So the Hilltoppers now go into their spread offense with Jacob Green back at quarterback. Next to him is Tiki Nieto. And in motion, they're going to give to Jeremiah Hartzell around the left side. And he crosses it up almost to the 40-yard line of the Patriots. So they run that little shovel pass, Mike, and that's been pretty successful for the Hilltoppers. And Jeremiah Hartzell, boy, Jerry, they call him. Boy, he is fast. And once he gets that open field, he is hard to bring down. But they pick up the 1st down as they move it all the way up to the see the 41-yard line of Miyamura, and they'll run out of the shotgun once again. Comes a direct snap. Well, let's see.
Play is blown dead, and
I think we have it.
Usually on the offense.
Yeah, we're gonna have a false start, and boy, it was definitely a false start. There wasn't any question. I mean, Tiki Naeto was back there with Jacob Green. Tiki just took off toward the line of scrimmage. And so now, once again, Jacob Green, his favorite thing to do, Mike.
Yeah, he uses his cadence very well when barking out the snap count, and that drew one of the Patriots offsides. I believe that was Larry Silva. There may have even been another one, but that very, very good at that is Jake.
Yeah, he drives these. Jacob's going to keep it himself. Now he's going to flip it back to Tiki Nieto. Nieto coming down the right sideline. He says, boy, breaks 2 or 3 tackles. Great run that time by Tiki. And finally coming in to make the stop for the, and he felt it too. I mean, he got the worst end of it, but he did bring him down, and that was Larry Silva. But Larry is 6'1", 215-pound junior. But the Hilltoppers pick up the first down once again. They're going to run out of that shotgun again.
And Silva's actually going to check out of the game here. He looks a little dinged up.
Yeah, he was almost like he was coughing, like he had the wind knocked out of him or something. Flat pass over to the flat over the left side, and that's a Jeremiah Hartzall, and he just runs over the would-be tackler, and that tackler was trying to make the tackle that time. It was Sammy McDonald, but boy, I'm telling you, Jeremiah just put his shoulder down, and he just leveled him. But let's see, we're going to have a hold.
Oh, my goodness.
Golly Moses.
Just going to wipe out about a 20-yard pickup there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where the hold occurred. I got to say, though, the downfield blocking by the Toppers was incredible on that play. Nick Dolan completely had his man sealed off, and as did Caden Thornton. Caden Thornton's guy actually ended up on the ground. They're going to call that, I guess it occurred downfield. That's right by the original line of scrimmage.
Yes, it is. So about 10 yards downfield. Quick pass by Jacob. That is complete. Boy, he just stood up in one step, and then he fired it. And that's once again, it's to Jerry Hartzall. So Jeremiah is going to move up. Let's see, he's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play. So now that'll make it now 2nd and 2, and the ball at the 22-yard line. So 2nd and 2 for Los Alamos, deep in Miyamura territory. And once again, they line up in motion. They're going to, although they fake it and then they hand it to Tiki, and Tiki just goes right over right end. And boy, I mean, he's just got great blocking and roaring down the field. I thought he was going to make it in, but Chris Chavez catches him. Let's see, Chris got him where about the 10-yard line.
So you're going to mark it, looks like he's marked about the 14.
Yes, you are correct, sir. Jacob dropping back. He's going to air it out wide open, and I thought that was it. Caden Thornton was wide open over there, heading down that left sideline and heading into the end zone. And that pass, I thought everything was going to click, but just slightly overthrown. So that brings up now 3rd and 2. Or 2nd down. I'm sorry, they did pick up the first down. I'm sorry. So anyway, it's now 2nd and 10. And the ball is, the ball at the 14-yard line. So we are ready to go, and they're going to bring it back to Jake. He's going to fake the handoff to Tiki.
Oh, wow.
Pass right up the middle. Once again, trying to get it to Hartzall, I do believe.
And that was deflected at the line. And then one of the linebackers for the Patriots Roe Keeler. Actually, the ball ended up hitting him on the shoulder. He didn't see it coming. That could have been a big problem, but his back was turned, ended up hitting him in the shoulder. But dangerous pass there.
Yeah, it really was, because he passed it into all kinds of traffic. And so the Hilltoppers are now a 3rd and 10. Pass to the flat once again, and this is going to actually is a lateral, so it's going to be picked up by Jeremiah. He's still going. He's going to dive into the end zone for the touchdown. And so it was a pass over to the flat, and I think it was just supposed to be a wide screen, but the pass ended up going backwards a little bit. Jeremiah missed it. He dropped it, but since it ended up being a lateral, actually, Jeremiah picks it up and heads down the left sideline, dives into the end zone for the score. So the Hilltoppers.
Oh, we know we are going to get. We are getting a. Looks like a call reversal here, and the Miyamura coach Sean Reeves out, and he was giving one of the officials an earful, and they changed the call. That pass was backward, Gene.
Yes,
there was no doubt about it.
So they're going to rule it was an incomplete pass.
That's
terrible.
That is a horrible call.
I mean, that was definitely a lateral. So the Hilltoppers are now 4th and 10 from the 14. Jacob right down the middle, and that's going to be incomplete as he was trying to get it to Caden Thornton. So the Hilltoppers, who had 1st and 10 from the 14, and they end up at 4th and 10 at the 14, but they actually did score a touchdown, which was reversed, which is that was ridiculous, because it definitely was a lateral pass. I don't think they intended it to be a lateral pass, but it ended up being a lateral pass. So anyway.
Yeah, what the intent was, that's debatable, but it clearly went behind from where Green initially threw it. Hartzell could not grab it, but the ball ended up on the ground. He wisely picked it up off the ground, and it looked like the rest of the Miyamura team just completely relaxed, thinking it was an incomplete pass. And he scooped it up and he dove into the end zone for the touchdown. But a nice lobbying job there by the Miyamura coach, and that wipes out the touchdown.
So we start things off as the Hilltoppers are called for encroachment, 5-yard penalty. So that's going to make it now 1st and 5 for Miyamura, and they hand it off to the fullback, and he is going to go nowhere. So they started at essentially, they should have started at the 14. They started at the 14. They got a 6-yard penalty on the encroachment, and so now it's 2nd down. Now they make it 2nd down and 4. Isaiah Martinez, and he's going to hand it off. Coming around the left side is Chris Chavez, and Chavez is going to move it up to and pick up the 1st down, as he's going to move it up to about the 25-yard line. That's enough for the 1st down for the Hilltoppers. And on the tackle for Los Alamos that time was Alicio Valdez. And so it's 1st and 10 now for Miyamura. Beautiful, beautiful day here in northern New Mexico, here in Los Alamos. Beautiful autumn day. So they run out of the shotgun again, and so a little delay this time as they hand the ball off to Jeremiah Paredes. Paredes? How do you pronounce that, Mike? Number 40.
Paredes.
Paredes.
Good, close enough, but that one right up the middle. And big guy as well. Listed at 187. I don't buy that even a little bit.
Not at all. He's a big kid. So now he's going to go out in motion. The pass is going to go to the flat to him. So Paredes going to pick up the 1st down as he gets it up across the 35-yard line. That's enough for the 1st down, and so they will move. That will move the chains, unless they get we'll see what kind of a spot they get. They do move the chains. And so the ball right now is at the 36-yard line, still in Miyamura territory. We are in the first quarter, no score, and 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Los Alamos just marched it down the field, but then stalled at the 14-yard line. Actually did score a touchdown, which was called back. We got a reverse coming around from the right side, and so they snapped it back to Isaiah Martinez, and they got it over, and Jeremiah Hartzell with a nice tackle, but they snapped it over to Isaiah Martinez, and then he handed it off to Jeremy Paradis, and Paradis then on the reverse handed it off to Chris Chavez. Chavez trying to come around the right side, but he was thrown for a loss by Jeremiah Hartzell. So that'll make it now 2nd down and 12, as the ball now has moved back to the 34-yard line.
Not a bad, actually, play call there by the Patriots, but that took an hour and a half to finally set up.
And motion goes again. Once again, the pass is going to go straight up the middle, and this is complete as he gets it up to Oscar Flores. So Flores with the grab up about, and he pulls it down at the 42-yard line. That's going to make it now 3rd down. 3rd down and about, a long 4. Short 5.
7-yard pickup there for a nice-looking ball there thrown by Martinez.
Yes, it was. So it's just a direct snap. The ball's out. And let's see what comes up in the bottom of the pile. Well, on the bottom of the pile for Los Alamos was Tiki Nieto. But it looks like the young man that recovered it was Matt Kruger for the Patriots. That's going to bring up 4th down, as they actually did pick up a little bit. They probably picked up a half a yard on the play, but they're 4th down. They're on their own 43-yard line. And so let's see what they're going to topper Sean Reeves, the head coach of Patriots. They come out in regular formation, but they did the same thing before when they punted. So
Martinez looks like he's in the shotgun here.
Yes, he is. They came out in kind of a spread, and then they shifted. And they went into this shotgun, it's almost a pistol. I think they were trying to draw Los Alamos off sides.
Yeah, they really had no intention of running any kind of play there. And Martinez, I don't know if he was barking snap count or whatever. I didn't hear him, but not an effective not an effective attempt to draw them off sides. So good discipline by the Toppers to stay on side.
Well, they came out and they lined up in kind of a odd spread formation, and they had a couple of running backs right behind the line, and then Isaiah Martinez was deep, and then he hollered a couple of signals, and then they shifted. And I think what they were hoping for was when they made that shift, the Los Alamos would jump off sides, but the Hilltoppers didn't bite.
Well, it wasn't that dramatic of a shift.
No.
So it just, like I said, it really didn't draw anybody's attention or anything. So
well, it's a kind of a thing till you expect a shift like that, because I don't think they expected them. They thought they were going to punt. I'm sure they did. And so, but they're going to run it. Isaiah Martinez. So the Hilltoppers are going to take over and deep in Miyamura territory, and on the tackle for Los Alamos that time was Caden Thornton and Josh Duran, as Isaiah Martinez just took the snap, tried to go around the left side, and he ends up being dropped at the 44-yard line. And the Hilltoppers are going to start from the Miyamura 44. So I'm a little surprised that Sean Reeves decided to go for that, but
Well, also considering though the first punt wasn't that great of a punt, maybe he figured, another 15, 20 yards of field position really wasn't going to make that big of a difference.
Yeah, he didn't have that much to lose. So Jacob fakes a handoff to Tiki, keeps it straight up the middle. He's up to the 40-yard line. And so right there to make the stop, another young man, Hector Hernandez, 6'5", 322 pounds.
Wow. That's big.
Yeah, he is one big, tall, husky kid. Goes to Tiki Nieto, and he's going to run into Hector again. And coming in to help him out was Larry Silva. Larry Silva, 6'1", 215. So Tiki wasn't really going to go anywhere.
Well, they actually looked like the Toppers actually trying to get a double block on Hector. They didn't move him an inch.
No.
So he was clogged up right there in the gap, and there was just really nowhere for Tiki to go.
Coming to the left now, we're on the option, and Jacob Green, and they were going to try to run the option to the left, and they just never had a prayer. They could never get any open space, and Miyamura covered that beautifully. Great defense that time. They didn't give the Hilltoppers any chance for the option. There wasn't even any way that Jacob was going to be able to lateral it off to Tiki.
No, even if he'd wanted it, actually that's keeping the ball and going down was about the best thing that could have happened there. There just was no place to go.
Now it's 4th down. Charles Steinkamp backs up at his own 49-yard line, and he's going to boot it. Little push kick. Yeah, he was trying to kick it short, but he didn't go for any corners or anything. He just went straight down the field, and it hit about the 5-yard line and just took a bounce right down the ground over and over and over. So anyway, that moves it back out to the 20-yard line, and we just let's see, we have just finished quarter number 1. No score. And we start second period. Miyamura will have it at their own 20-yard line, 0-0 ball game. So the Hilltoppers, who got in their first series, it looked like they were just going to march into the end zone. They got the ball with just one big gain after another. Got down to the 14-yard line, tried a couple of passes, but they did have that lateral pass that they called back. But Jeremiah, he picked up that lateral pass, and then he just started moving, and he just kind of ran through everybody, and then he just dove into the end zone. It would have been a great picture for John McHale. So now, Mike, we go down to the other end of the field, and now the Hilltoppers the sun is actually straight overhead, so it's not really much of a problem. But now Miyamura will attack the east side of the goal. And Martinez airing it out. He's got a man open, but
oh no!
And I'm telling you, great coverage that time for the Hilltoppers, Malachi Gutierrez, and the pass was short, and the intended receiver that time was Antonio Lovato. Lovato was actually a step ahead of Malachi. The pass came up short, and classic vending machine. I mean, hit him right in the gut, and then just out it went.
Could not hang on, and that was a golden opportunity. And there was not much in front of Malachi if he pulled that in. No. That might have gone back to the house.
I mean, it was right to him, and the classic vending machine hit him right in the gut and then down. All kinds of motion by Los Alamos. And so I think we're going to have encroachment here.
The Toppers immediately, when the play was whistled dead, started pointing at Miyamura and then immediately ran back 5 yards. So not a great fake out there.
No, not. So they pick it. So that makes it now second down and 5. And they're going to hand it off to the fullback. And boy, I mean, we have a major pile down there. They flat couldn't bring him down. And so he comes up off the bottom of the pile that time. And that was Jeremiah Paradis, the big kid. But boy, it took almost half the Hilltopper football team to drop him. So we are in the second quarter, no score. And Miyamura with the ball, they just picked up the first down. So it's 1st and 10. And the ball right at the 30-yard line. Hilltopper's going to be called for encroachment again, but I didn't see anybody penetrate the line.
No, there was a little bit of movement, but I didn't see anybody go into the neutral zone.
No, not at all. In fact, they had them lined up out there, and lined up there was John Delgado. And then John, he just made kind of a little half step, but he did not penetrate. So they pick up the 5-yard, they get the 5-yard penalty, and now they hand it off again, this time to Paradis, and Jeremiah is tackled behind the line of scrimmage, going absolutely nowhere. Great tackle that time for the Hilltoppers, and leading the way for Los Alamos that time. And that was Jehoran Quintana. So that's going to make it now. It's going to be second down and still about 5, maybe a long 5. Yes. And we're just underway in the second quarter. No score. Miyamura and Los Alamos. And Isaiah Martinez back. He's got a man wide open, and I mean wide open, and he's just going to win the race to the end zone. Or does he?
No.
Somebody caught up with him. I don't know who in the world caught up with him.
I think that was Malachi coming from all the way across the field, but wide open. Oh my goodness! And we don't have his number. There's 85 numbers on this roster, and we don't have his. That was number 2.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, we don't have a number 2.
But wide open, just total blown coverage, unfortunately, for the Toppers. And there was nobody even close to him. Martinez hit him right in the chest. A huge gain.
Martinez rolling to his left. He's going to try to keep it. Now he passes it into the end zone. Intended this time for, breaking that pass up for Los Alamos, I believe, was Malachi Gutierrez. But that pass was intended for Antonio Lovato. And he was in the end zone, but great defense that time by Malachi. But on that pass, Mike, the receiver was a good 10 yards back he was a good 10 yards ahead of our closest defender. They took off, they had the race, and it looked like he was going to, the young man who was defending him, they took off to the race, and it was a close battle, but then he was pulling away from him, and he was going to head to the end zone, but out of nowhere comes Malachi Gutierrez, and Malachi brings him down inside the 10-yard line. But other than that, he was gone, bound for pay dirt. So we have a run right up the middle.
And it goes Paradis again.
And Paradis, and so, wow, they're already down to the 2-yard line. And third down and about 2.5 for the touchdown. So Isaiah Martinez is going under center this time. Quarterback keeper, and they're trying to push him into the end zone. I don't know if he made it in or not.
I haven't seen his signal yet. There we go. Yes, he did make it in.
Kyler Young was right there for Los Alamos. And as he came up the middle, quarterback keeper, and then he had the, bunch of white jerseys behind him pushing him. I guess that's legal now. It didn't used to be. But anyway, they were pushing him, and finally, and then shoving him back and bringing him back at the time was Kyler Young, but the official says that he did make it across the goal line, so they're going to go now for 2. I don't think they have a lot of confidence in their kicking game after that punt. So they're going to go for 2, and it's going to be, they're going to line up in a shotgun. They're actually going to have a naked backfield. They got receivers. They got every receiver out they can possibly run out. And they're stacking them up on the. Well, we have two receivers. We have two wide receivers, two split ends.
We had initially just there a flag for 12 men on the field, but they picked that up.
So Martinez rolling to his right to pass, and that's complete. You got that pass. Once again, it goes now to Antonio Lovato. And Miyamura goes up 8-0 here, Mike.
Wow.
And we're at 9:01 to go in the half.
9:01 in the half. The Patriots up, and complete jump ball there for Martinez going up in the air, throwing over the line of scrimmage, and found his receiver for a 2-point conversion. But 64-yard toss from Martinez to the mystery player to set that up. But again, just got it straight down there. Nothing fancy about that. Just went straight down the field and wide open. I don't know if they were expecting safety help on that side or whatever. It just never came over. And yeah, nobody was within 10 yards of him, and looked for a second like he might win the foot race to the end zone, but the Patriots ultimately punch it in for the score.
Joshua Thomas kicks it away. This one is going to go into the end zone.
That wasn't the worst kickoff I've ever seen.
No, not bad. I thought it was going to go out of bounds for a minute, and so as it came down and hit, it could have either gone to the left or to the right. It decided to go to the right, which kept it in bounds, but it could have very easily, the way it was spinning, it could have very easily gone to the left. And of course, that's illegal procedure. You can't kick a kickoff out of bounds.
Didn't get very high off the ground, though, so if he's like the regular place kicker, I don't know that ever got to crossbar height.
That's right. The Hilltoppers are on the own 20-yard line now. So after that first series, when they just crushed it down the field to give it to Tiki coming straight up the middle, and he's still going breaking. He just keeps breaking tackles, and now he's hit by about 4 or 5. And Chris Chavez was the young man who was at the bottom of the pile, but then as they were standing at Hector Hernandez, the 322-pound 6'5" senior, he came running into the pile, threw his shoulder into the pile. But the pile, it was so thick at that time, it didn't even move. So once again, Tiki Naito is going to be the ball carrier. As Tiki had picked up the first down, this time now he picks up essentially no gain, maybe a foot, make it second down, and still a short 10, if you want to put it that way. So pass over to the left side. That's going to go to Jeremiah Hartzall down the left sideline. He gets it down inside the 40-yard line of Miyamura. And that's the same play that they ran on which he scored the touchdown, except that ended up being a lateral pass. Which was not intended to be, but this is a nice pass over to the flat, right to the sideline, and Jeremiah takes it off down the left sideline, and he's going to get it down to about the 40, looks like the 43-yard line of Miyamura.
Topper's using that receiver screen very, very well here to start the game.
And they just stick it in Tiki's gut and just let him go over the left side of the line, and he's going to get it. And he's going to get it down now to the 35-yard line, and that'll bring up third down for Los Alamos. It should be third down, shouldn't it? They had second and well, no, that's right. They converted. Never mind. Okay, now here we go. Hilltoppers go off early, but they don't catch it, and the pass is going to come over on the right sideline this time. And once again, it's Jeremiah Hartzall. But it looked to me like we had a false start, and
Well, something happened. We have a flag on the field, and
let's see.
I didn't. It's going to be against Los Alamos. I didn't see the initial call.
They're still saying it's second down, but he hasn't given us a signal as yet.
Oh, that's a big penalty.
Oh, yeah, it really is.
That must have been something like a chop block or something.
Yeah, somebody from Los Alamos in the backfield took off early, but that's not what they threw the flag for. But Hilltoppers were shoved way back to their own 49-yard line. Penalties are killing Los Alamos. Jacob, there's a screen, and they tried to run a screen, tried to run it to Tiki Nieto. So Jacob, he pedaled back 4 or 5 yards or so, and the Hilltoppers had all kinds of people lined, all kinds of receivers out there, all kinds of green jerseys anyway, not receivers, but they're trying to get it to Tiki on the screen.
And not a bad idea. The problem was the linemen they need to at least pretend like they're holding their blocks. And nobody did it. And Miyamura was all over Green, and Green didn't have time to set up his throw.
No, he didn't. So Jacob, long pass downfield. Whoa. Wow. Oh, a great pass downfield, and that one was intended for Caden Thornton. And he almost pulls it in, but there was good coverage down there by Miyamura, step for step with him. With Caden that time was Sammy McDonald. But I thought Caden was going to pull that one in. So here we go, Mike. We're going to have to punt it away. Charles Steinkamp.
Whoa.
And he puts a boomer.
And that's going to roll into the end zone. So I don't know what the Toppers wanted to do there, Gene, but obviously Charles has not been schooled on, trying to drop the punt into a certain zone, because he put all of his foot in that.
Yes.
No problem getting it to the end zone.
And straight down the field too.
Yeah, no angle or anything, but maybe Toppers aren't concerned about that.
So Miyamura takes over with 6:52 to go in the half. They lead 8-0, and the Hilltoppers just not able to finish. The penalties are killing the Hilltoppers. Isaiah Martinez rolling to his right. He's going to turn the corner, and he's finally going to be run out of bounds. For the Hilltoppers is coming in to knock him out of bounds that time. Was that Malachi?
I thought it was Zach Stidham over there on that side. But
yes. It wasn't Malachi. I know that. Yeah, it was Zach Stidham. Yes. 6 foot, 130-pound sophomore.
And actually, pretty nice stop there by Stidham, because Martinez. It looked like he turned the corner and was ready to get downfield even further. Yeah,
6-yard gain this time for Isaiah. And now trying to come around the left side.
Oh, dear.
And, boy, diving in for the tackle that time. And it was John Delgado. And he got a hold of him, and then John couldn't pull him down, but he just slowed him up enough to, suddenly there were 2 or 3 more Toppers in there finally to bring him down. But John Delgado got in there in a hurry, and he slowed that whole thing down. So the loss takes them all the way back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's 3rd and 10 now from the 20-yard line. So Isaiah all lined up back there with his fullback. This time he looks downfield. Now he's going to air it out. And it's complete. And the man coming down the left sideline, and he breaks a tackle, and that once again is the mystery player, number 2. And we don't have a number 2. Unbelievable. I make up these rosters, Mike, 50, 60 players. And I make up a roster with 60 players on it, and And then when we come to do the game, who's number 2?
No idea. No idea. But he's having a ginormous game so far. We see if we can find out who he is. But wow, that was a tricky catch he made. And then did you see that stiff arm?
Yes.
That was outstanding.
Yeah. There's a draw. And boy, they run that perfectly. Boy, that was a beautifully executed play. So on the draw, the handoff ends up going now to Jeremiah Paredes. And boy, a perfectly designed draw play. And that goes up to the 34-yard line.
Very well executed.
Oh, yes.
And Paredes, big guy. He did. Like you said, he's listed 187. I don't buy that for a second. He's got to be close to about 210, 215.
Oh, yeah, he's a big kid. Isaiah now is under center. And
oh, boy, big stick there by Nieto on the runner.
Wow. Nieto, boy, I mean, they handed the ball off that time to Oscar Flores. And boy, Flores, a 5'70", 170-pound junior, and here comes Tiki. Boy, did he drop him down. Tiki Nieto, boy, 6 foot, 205-pound junior, and boy, I'm telling you, he just put his shoulder in his gut and just, I mean, it was just a takedown.
Yeah, when you play football every day in practice, you go over form tackles and form tackles and form tackles, and that was a textbook form tackle. So good job there by Tiki. By the way, Gene, we have the officiating crew here. Let me set that for you. The umpire, Greg Sandoval. The headlinesman, Oliver Torres. Line judge, Kurt Temple. The back judge is Chris Baga. And the white hat, the referee, Bobby Benavides, for this afternoon's game. Like you were saying, unfortunately, Gene, there was a referee shortage, all across the state, and this has been kind of a problem for several years now, but they've made it through. But this is already the second time this season the Toppers have had to reschedule their game, either move it up a day or move it back a day, because there was just no officials.
So under center, they're going to flip the ball back this time to Dylan Joins. Comes back to Dylan Joins, and he is just a little flip. He takes off around the right side and is able to pick up the first down. So he had lined up in the backfield, and they just a little direct snap to Isaiah Martinez under center, and all he did was just stand up and flip it. I mean, right now.
And Joran Quintana for the Toppers had immediate penetration into the backfield, but just kind of overran him and couldn't get a hold of him.
So 1st and 10 now for Miyamura. And Isaiah, he got all day to throw, and he's got a man wide open, and he overthrows him. Boy, the protection, unbelievable. He just stood back there. Nobody ever even came close to threatening him. Not at all. He stood back there for 3 or 4 more seconds. But he had the man wide open down heading toward the end zone. And that was Dylan Joins. And let me correct that. That was Chris Chavez. And he was wide open in the end zone.
Yeah, Martinez just overthrew him, but Martinez had an hour to throw that.
Yeah, he did. So he's going to hand it off and trying to turn the corner and not going to be able to turn the corner. And boy, charging in a hurry that time was Nick Dolan and Jeremiah Hartzall. And Oscar Flores was the ball carrier.
And he's losing about half yard.
Yeah, so now it's going to be 3rd down and about 10.5. 10.5. 3rd down and a short 11.
Short 11.
So, well, let's see. Now we're having the referees are discussing something. Oh, what in the
What
world
are
is
they
going
looking
on?
at? Oh, we have a loose shoelace.
Oh, my heavens.
Phew, that was close.
Yeah, I caught that. Well, we got 3.5 minutes to go in this quarter, and we're going to have a timeout taken. And this timeout is going to be taken by Los Alamos. So the situation here is the Hilltoppers are down 8-0, and they just they take the timeout, and so that's their first timeout. Miyamura has taken 2 timeouts, so you get 3.5, of course, and then so the Hilltoppers burn one of them, and with 3:28, so the Hilltoppers hoping to get the ball back here, as right now it's 3rd down and about 11 yards to go for the first down, but Miyamura is deep in Hilltopper territory, and so I'm sure for Sean Reeves, the kicking game so far, I'm just speculating here. I wouldn't expect a field goal.
No, this would be. I think they're a little out of his range.
So this will be 4 down territory, definitely. So 3rd and 11. So after the timeout, okay, they go into the shotgun and put 3 receivers out to the left, 1 out to the right. Martinez dropping back, running it out, and this one is going to be, whoa, boy, great defense that time for Los Alamos. As back there for the Hilltoppers was Caden Thornton, and that pass was intended up there for Antonio Lovato.
And Lovato running a post route and right in the middle of the field, but Thornton all over him. And they had a one-on-one shot there. I'm sure Martinez, that's what he saw, just the two locked up together, but Thornton didn't give him an inch and was all over the pass.
So 4th and 11, and the ball right now at the 30-yard line of the Hilltoppers. So the Hilltoppers want to stop them here, and then they'll have some time to do something with it. Isaiah Martinez rolling to his left. He's going to come back, throw to his right, way downfield. Nobody down there. He had, 4 receivers over on that side of the field. And they were trying to flood that whole side of the field, and he just rolled to his left and then came back and threw back to his right, and he just heaved it down the field over everybody's head.
Yeah, that wasn't even close. It's almost like he was expecting a 4th receiver or something. But no, there was nobody. That was 5 yards over the head of his nearest receiver.
Yeah, he was looking for that somebody to come out of nowhere. So the Hilltoppers take over, and the ball pops out.
That was on the ground, and
oh, I think the ground can't cause a fumble. And they're giving it to Miyamura.
That is a horrible call.
Yes, absolutely.
Hartzell was already down. He was falling to the ground. He was on the ground, and when the ground jarred the ball loose.
Yeah, and the ground can't cause a fumble. And so, unbelievable.
No, oh my goodness, unbelievable.
That was terrible.
That's a terrible call.
That's the second time the officials have ripped us off. That was he was hit, and as he was going down, he had the ball and he had complete control, and then when he hit the ground, the ball bounced off, and so the ground was the one that caused the fumble, and it cannot. And the official didn't waste any time giving it to Miyamura. So at first they take a touchdown away from Los Alamos because it was a lateral pass, and they ruled it was not. Now they rule that he was not down. It was a fumble, and they're going to hand the ball off to Chris Chavez. But boy, say hello to Tiki Nieto. So the situation, Mike, here is let's see, the Hilltoppers still have 2 timeouts. It's 2:15, the clock running here in the first half. And Miyamura taking a lot of time here. I don't think. I guess what they would like to do is a score, but no guarantee. I wouldn't be taking too much time. They got third and long yardage, 3rd and 8, and but I guess they want to run off as much time as they possibly can and hope they can score.
Trips to the right here. And Martinez, that ball is picked off.
Yes, it is. Intercepted. Boy, great interception by Caden Thornton. Boy, he was back there. I mean, he's back there. The pass was intended downfield, and that time it was defended downfield for Oscar Flores. But, boy, Caden Thornton right there for Los Alamos to pull it in. So the Hilltoppers now, there's 1:41 to go here in a half. Hilltoppers are down 8-0, and they have 2 timeouts, but they're deep in their own territory. I mean, about as deep as you can get. What, on the 6-yard line? Going to air it out. There's a pass coming on. Whoa, boy, I mean, the pass was complete, but boy, hit hard now going down the left sideline. Jeremiah Hartzall, and he shoved out of bounds at the last minute. Boy, the last man to do anything, had any possibility of doing anything, was Sammy McDonald, and then he just gave Jeremiah a shove. The shove was enough to just push, make Jeremiah off stride, and Jeremiah trying to balance himself down the right sideline, and he finally ends up falling out of bounds. But that if he hadn't had that push by McDonald, he was gone.
50-yard pickup, and
who hit him first?
I think that was our mystery player number 2, and there was a ginormous collision around the 20-yard line, but Hartzell kept his feet.
Pass over on the left flat this time, and Hilltopper with another big gain down to the 30-yard line. That was to Kenny Suazo. And you were saying, Mike?
Yeah, just huge collision. But Hartzell kept his feet. I can't believe he kept his feet. And he was able to skitter out of there and then get to the sideline and darn near broke that.
So the Hilltoppers were still with 2 timeouts and the clock moving with 1:07. And in motion, they're going to hand it to Tiki. Tiki's going to go straight up the middle, and he's heading for pay dirt, and he scores. Tiki Nieto. Little handoff, it's nothing to it. Little simple handoff right up the middle. Tiki just takes off. Nobody puts a finger on him, and he's into the end zone for the score with 56 seconds left in the first half. So they started this with 141, something like that, and they were on their own 6-yard line. And boy, did they move it down the field. Talk about a 2-minute drill. Wow. So the Hilltoppers now they're going to go for 2. And well, do we have a flag? False start, Los Alamos. Well, that's all they needed. So that'll move it back to the 8-yard line. Unbelievable. They have a good kicker. They could bring Charles Steinkamp in here at this point, and he definitely would kick the extra point. That would close it to 1, but Hilltoppers are still going to go for 2. They're from the 8-yard line. In motion goes Caden Thornton. Rolling to his right is Jacob Green. Green is going to, well, he could not. Boy, he just could not get away that time, and so. Well, he actually got the pass off, but he was hit just as he was throwing it. I don't know, Mike. I think maybe what I would have done was gone for taking the extra point to 1, especially after they had the false start. Take the extra point and close it to 1.
Yeah, especially after you get the penalty. That really makes any shot at getting a 2-point conversion considerably more difficult. Yeah, you're absolutely right. They might have been better off just kicking it, but Topper is obviously hoping to tie the score here. By the way, Gene, that touchdown by Tiki breaks a 10-quarter drought for the Toppers.
That's right. Yes,
they had been shut out in their previous 2 contests, and And we're 56 seconds away from getting blanked in this half. So finally, Toppers hit some pay dirt.
Yeah, Charles Steinkamp. This is going to go. No, it was going to go out of bounds, but Chris Chavez decides to field it. And if it had gone out of bounds, that's a penalty against Los Alamos, and they would have gotten the ball on the 35-yard line. But he decides to try to field it, and that was not a good decision. But the ball does end up where on the 20-yard line. So same thing as if it had gone in the end zone.
But Steinkamp able to put a little English on that kick. So.
Yes, he did. Yes. And he aimed it toward the sideline this time. 50 seconds to go. First half. 8-6, Miyamura. Isaiah Martinez snap is low. He's able to scoop it back up. He's going to run to his right. Now he's just going to carry it himself, and he's going to be run down from behind. But he couldn't get away from Tiki Nieto. And right there was Jake Sorensen for Los Alamos also, but he just kind of rolled to his right, and then I don't think he ever had any intention of throwing it. He just took off toward the right sideline. Tiki Nieto ran him down from behind, and he goes out of bounds, I do believe. Nobody calls a timeout.
Penalty marker after or on the field now, and they're going to march off 10 yards from Miyamura for a hold, I think, in the backfield.
Yes, and so they moved the ball down to the, 11-yard line? No, 9-yard line.
Wow, so the clock running. The Patriots need to be very careful here with the ball. Toppers, meanwhile, I assume
I think I would take the victory formation. They dropped the ball, and
that's a safety. Oh, the ball's on the ground.
Let's see what happens here, Mike. The bat came to Isaiah Martinez. He dropped the ball, tried to scoop it up, couldn't get away from it, and looked like it was going to be a safety. The Hilltoppers hit him. The ball came out, and the Hilltoppers recover, and they get the touchdown.
Holy moly.
How about that for a turn of events? I think it was 141. They were down 8-0, and they marched down the field in about less than a minute and score. And now they drop the quarterback in the end zone, and the ball pops out, and the Hilltoppers get to pick up the touchdown. Unbelievable. But that snap went back. That was the second time the snap before that, on the play before that, it was a bad snap. But Isaiah was able to pick it up. This time he couldn't pick it up. It just kind of went to his left. He was trying to scoop it up, and he couldn't. So anyway, it ended up he run back to the end zone where he got hit. So first we thought he had a safety, which would have tied the score. But then that ball pops out, and I didn't see who recovered it for Los Alamos, but he holds it up, and so the Hilltoppers, back unbelievably, are now up 12-8 over Miyamura, and I guess they're going to go for two again here.
Yeah, the Toppers call a timeout. Tiki Nieto actually ended up with the ball in the end zone, but Martinez was just swarmed over in the end zone. And this was seconds after you were just talking about maybe he wants to take a knee or something. Yeah. This was dangerous territory for the Patriots, but they do the exact opposite. They send trips to the right, and they're hoping Martinez can air it out, and he was just absolutely swarmed.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, I don't know who knocked it out, but it could have been any number of people, and then Tiki ended up on top of the ball.
Yeah, because at first he bobbled the snap.
2 points.
So the Hilltoppers come out and
snap straight to Green. Green barrels in untouched, and he gets the 2-point conversion.
So it makes it now 14-8. Hilltoppers up. We looked like Mike said. It looks like they were going to go in with a goose egg on the scoreboard at the end of the half, and then about a minute and a half or something like that, they score 14 points.
Unbelievable. And remember that all of this started, Gene, the Toppers were deep in their own territory.
Yeah, on the 6-yard line.
Yeah, they're needing to run their 2-minute drill. Hartzell with a big pickup, and that sets up Nieto's touchdown. And then the Patriots just completely implode there in the last 30 seconds or so. Yeah, and that leads to the other Topper touchdown.
So Steinkamp now is going to put it into the end zone again. So Charles with another beautiful kick. So now Miyamura with the 19 seconds to go have it at their own 20-yard line. They trail Los Alamos right now 14-8 on an unbelievable finish to the first half in this ball game.
Not over yet. The Patriots could still air this out. They got 20 seconds and a timeout to work with.
Yeah, we could still intercept it and head into the end zone again. I mean, plenty of time for both teams to score. Anyway, so here they go from the 20.
Patriots don't look like they're going to sit on this.
No.
Oh, yeah, yes, they are. I'm sorry.
The victory formation, which is what they should have done the last time.
That's an interesting victory formation. They got out of the pro set and tailback back there. But Martinez does the correct thing and kneels down. So that's going to do it for the first half. Toppers up 14-8 heading into the field house over here. What a wacky finish to that half.
I tell you, something else. And that was after the fumble, the so-called fumble by Jeremiah. As Jeremiah on the run got hit as he was going down. He still had control of the ball, but then when he hit the ground, the ball hit the ground, and then the ball bounced out. The ground cannot cause a fumble, but the officials came running over and gave it to Miyamura. I couldn't believe it. And it's just like that lateral pass that Hilltopper scored on. That was obviously a lateral. There wasn't any two ways about it. But so they took the touchdown away, and then they took on the fumble, gave it over to Miyamura, but then the Hilltoppers intercept the pass down around the 6-yard line with about a minute 40 to go, and all of a sudden, it's like, where did that Topper team come from all of a sudden? I mean, they marched that thing down the field so fast. I mean, it was unbelievable. I think they scored in 30, 40 seconds. And then, of course, they kick off at Miyamura, and then Miyamura, deep in their own territory and leading in this ball game 8-6. That's what they definitely should have taken the victory formation and got out of the half, and because they really didn't have any time to do anything. But it's always dangerous. We see that happen a lot, and these teams decide to. They're in a situation where it's the end of the half. We've had this happen more than once where they decide to go for it instead of just taking a knee and getting it out, especially when they're deep in their own territory and they don't really have a prayer to really do very much. And we've had that happen to Los Alamos also. And one year we were up at Taos, and we thought they should have taken the victory formation, but they decided to go for it. One of our star players got hurt. So anyway, I don't know, sometimes you just got to make that decision to take the knee. You got the lead, take the knee and get in the locker room and regroup. But they didn't do that. The snap for the second time in a row, it was a bad snap. The first one, Isaiah was able to pick it up and run. This one, he couldn't pick it up. He kept trying to scoop it up, went all the way back to the end zone, and then when he got hit in the end zone and the ball was loose, and Tiki Nieto dove on it for Los Alamos. And now the Hilltoppers lead 14-8 as Jacob Green adds the extra points, the 2 extra points. And so Mike, pretty good. I mean, pretty good finish. Mike was talking about they broke the 10 quarter drought, the Hilltoppers were shut out by Farmington, shut out by Pedro Vista, and then they had been shut out by Miyamura up to that point. And they finally put in 14 very, very quick points, and they now lead this ball game 14-8. I want to say congratulations right now to all the other sports here. The fall sports, Los Alamos doing very well in that regard. The soccer teams are doing very, very well. The boys soccer team is they were number 2 in the state, and they either have to still be number 2 or maybe number 1. I haven't seen the latest ranking, but I know they're number 2, and there's no reason nothing should have ever knocked them out of number 2 because they've been on a roll. And the Topper girls team now is coming on strong here at the end of the season. So both of those teams are state playoff bound, definitely. But really, congratulations to the volleyball team. Boy, they are on a tear, and they now getting into district play. And this is a very tough volleyball district. There's some extremely good volleyball teams in this district, Pewaukee and Moriarty and Los Alamos, all very, very good, all very, very good teams. And the Hilltoppers went up against Moriarty the other night and last week, and I guess it was the week before. But boy, they had a fantastic volleyball game here in Los Alamos at Griffith Gymnasium. Well, the Hilltoppers coming out on top of that one, able to pull it out. And then the Hilltoppers went down earlier in this week, went down to Pewaukee. Took on Pewaukee. Pewaukee was actually they were actually tied for first place. And we've had to play in Pewaukee, which is a tough place to play anyway. But Los Alamos took on the Elkettes down there in the pit in Pewaukee, and we were down there to broadcast that ball game, and wow, what a fantastic volleyball game. It was. The Hilltoppers finally ended up winning it 3-2, and it went all the way to 5 sets, but every set was just right down to the wire. 2 and 3 points separating each set. There was one set the Hilltoppers won. They won by 5, 25-20, but other than that, they lost 22-25, and then they won 25-20. They dropped one set 29-24, or they won that set, but it went all the way to 29-27. So it was a great volleyball game and hard-fought game. But the Hilltoppers now are 5-0 in district play in volleyball, and they have taken over first place, but still have. Well, we just started the second round of play against, and that was against Espanola on Thursday night. Won that one fairly easily, but Espanola had improved quite a bit from the first game, but we won that one in straight sets, 3-0. But now the Hilltoppers, once again, they have to go to Moriarty. Pewaukee comes here. But those are going to be 2 great ball games. And I think Mike is ready with his stats now, if I'm not mistaken.
As a matter of fact, I am, Jane. Thank you very much. 14-8. Toppers up. We got about 9 minutes in the halftime left, and they have the 3-minute warm-up period. So for the Toppers rolled up 196 yards of total offense in that first half. The majority of that on the ground. Tiki Nieto with 7 carries for 72 yards. Had a 17-yard scamper and 11-yard scamper ahead of his 29-yard touchdown run. That run coming with under a minute left in the first half. So 72 yards for him on the ground. And he has, I don't keep this particular stat, Gene, but he's going to have a ton of yards after contact because he's not running. There's been only, I think, one run of his where he had a ton of room, and that was going off of right tackle, and he had a nice pickup for that one. That was a 17-yarder. Everything else, he's been hit right around the line of scrimmage. The Patriots huge up front, obviously, and the Toppers aren't getting a ton of movement on those guys. but Tiki's been able to break several tackles and have some nice pickups for himself. So 113 yards for the Toppers. Also for them, Jeremiah Hartzall with 38 yards on 3 carries, had a nice 21-yarder, and in that, and also should have had a touchdown. Running that into the end zone in the first quarter as well. For Jake Green, 5 for 11, 83 yards, 50 of those coming on that big completion to Hartzall there toward the end of the half that actually sparked their got them on the Miyamura side of the ball, and they were able to punch that one in. So 83 yards through the air. Actually hit his first 2 passes, then went on a little bit of a dry spell, but hit another couple of passes as well. So for the Toppers, 196 yards of offense in that first half. For the Miyamura Patriots, their quarterback, Isaiah Martinez, he hits 5 of 11 passes for 143 yards, but had an interception. That one coming by way of Caden Thornton deep in Topper territory. But he did have that 64-yard completion to set up their touchdown. That was to the mystery player who was having himself a heck of a game. We wish we could tell you who he was.
Yes.
But he is having a nice game for himself. Also had a 40-yard hookup, also, I believe, with a mystery player. So a couple of nice passes for Martinez. Martinez has been under heavy pressure most of this first half. In fact, the only time he didn't have any pressure, he had a wall in front of him and he completely misfired. He had a couple of receivers open and he just overthrew them. That was really maybe that was the problem, Gene, was he didn't have enough pressure on him, and he just got he didn't know what to do.
Yeah, see, it's kind of like when you in basketball, when you're wide open from like 10 feet. Those are the tough ones to make.
Yeah, you're never in that position. So 143 yards. He did, like I said, he did have the interception as well. On the ground, Patriots have been a little slim pickings on the ground. Just 33 yards on 16 attempts on the ground. Paredes had the biggest pickup. He had 22 yards for the Patriots, 157 yards of total offense for the Patriots, and that included 2 big sacks. And the second sack, of course, occurring in the end zone, and the Toppers able to pick up the ensuing fumble, and that is a difference in the ball game right now, 14-8. So Toppers, before the end of the half, Gene had a couple of nice drives put together, just could not end up doing anything with them. But pick up running the 2-minute drill to perfection and get their first score, and then get the fumble right at the end of the half in the end zone to take the lead. So crazy finish to this first half. Let's see. I'm not even going to guess what we're going to see here in the second half.
No, this has been a wild one. Hilltoppers opened up on their first drive. They just had no trouble at all getting it all the way down to the 14-yard line. Completely stalled at the 14, and could not do anything. Ended up it was 1st and 10 at the 14, and ended up 4th and 10 at the 14, or actually ended up at the 14 when they turned it over to Miyamura. And then the Hilltoppers did, of course, score that one touchdown, which they called back. But the biggest thing, Mike, is that they had some really costly penalties. We've had some really nice gains and some really nice plays, and the next thing you know, they're throwing that flag. But anyway, it's and talking about that referee shortage type of thing, that's a shame and everything. But everybody's always on the referee's butt all the time. but you got to give these guys credit. I mean, it's the guys that are, willing to do that kind of thing and put up with all that aggravation and everything, all the unhappy fans and.
That is a thankless job for sure, but you can't have these games without officials.
No, you can't.
That's simple, and they're out there. They're out there every game, and they're the officials are doing their level best to make sure all of these run together. There's really, we hear a lot of people complaining, the officials, they don't like us, they don't do that. Almost every official I've ever met, they take their job very seriously. They try to do the best they can, and most of the time everything's just fine. And of course, it's one of those deals when when you're right, nobody remembers. When you're wrong, nobody forgets. So, but hey, they're out here, doing a thankless job, and without them, there wouldn't be any of us.
No, it isn't, and like what we always say is that the one that's always amazes me is that football is kind of straightforward. We all know most of the rules, and of course the referees have to know all the rules, but in things like basketball and basketball is very, very fast paced, but everything's kind of, in a way, almost cut and dried with the officials as far as, like, the calls they have to make. But the one that just would drive me crazy, and I still don't know how they do it, is the volleyball officials. I mean, there are so many nuances to that volleyball officiating that I don't know how they do it. And like we were saying the other night, the volleyball game we're lucky to have those people because, I mean, it's just absolutely amazing. But anyway, Mike, this is the last day of regular season soccer. Hilltoppers are on the road today. They both teams went down to Sandia Prep. The girls are playing at 1 o'clock, and the boys are playing at 3 o'clock. And I thought maybe these were some soccer players here at the field. They're all blowing their Venezuelas and stuff. And so, anyway.
I know you love those, Gene.
Oh, God, those things.
Those are your absolute favorite props that any fan could bring onto the field.
Oh, God. Those things are just god-awful. And, I don't know if anybody watched that World Cup when they first started. Everybody in the stands had those, whatever they're called. I call them Venezuelas, but...
Vuvuzelas is what it is, but I like your name better.
So, and but I mean, it was just this constant noise. But anyway, this is the last day of soccer. So that tomorrow we'll have the seeding. So the NMA is going to seed the teams tomorrow. And then the tournament schedule is set up, at least the schedule we have at this point, is that the first round will be on Tuesday. And it will be played at the site of the higher seed, but we don't have any information as to if somebody's going to get a bye. Normally, in the past, they've been giving the first 4 teams a bye out of the first round. And we'll see maybe if they do that here. So we'll find out what's going on Tuesday. And then the quarterfinals will be next weekend. So they'll be either played on Friday or on Saturday, and that'll be at the site of the higher seed. So the Hilltoppers, if they don't play on Tuesday, they'll definitely play next weekend. And then they'll start things off again in a week and a half on Tuesday again. And that will be on that'll be the 3A semifinals. The 4A and 5A semifinals will actually be on Wednesday. So that's a week and a half from now on November 3rd. And then the championship game will be at UNM Soccer Field. O'clock in the morning. And the 4A boys will be at 12:30. And that'll be on the UNM Soccer Field if they make it that far.
Yeah, that's always got to feel great. Hey, congratulations, you made it. You're in the championship game. Now get up at 7 o'clock and get ready to go. We don't have time for this.
Yeah, yeah. I can't remember what year it was, but it was the year Los Alamos won the. Was it around 1998 or something? They won the state championship, and that was the situation too. They had that real early morning soccer game, and they won that soccer game. And in fact, we went down to Albuquerque with KRSN. We went down to Albuquerque. We did that soccer game, and then when the soccer game was over, we got in the car and drove up to Milwaukee and did the afternoon football game. so we had time. They had that game so early, we had time to cover it and then go head up to Milwaukee and cover the football.
Plenty of time, no problem.
So,
time to spare. I think you stop and get yourself some breakfast too.
Yes. So Miyamura won a toss to start the ball game, and they elected to receive. So they will now be kicking off. So the Hilltoppers will get the ball once again after scoring, 2 quick touchdowns, and they're going to get the ball back. And so the very, 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 very short kick going to be picked up by Los Alamos and coming down the right sideline. And he is going to go all the way, and nobody's going to touch him. And that's going to be Malachi Gutierrez. And Malachi, he loves that. He tries for that every time. When he gets that ball, he wants to go all the way. And he's done it a number of times this year. And he did it again. Picked that ball up. It was a short kick. He picked it up about the 10-yard line. And he just suddenly took off down the right sideline. I don't think a white jersey laid a finger on him.
I don't think so. And the ball kicked right toward the far sideline, and like you said, Malachi not shy about picking it up or doing any of that, and he just scooped it up and went straight down the sideline. All the Miyamura kick coverage was going straight down the field. I don't think they knew where the ball was.
Yeah, because it went. So Charles Steinkamp. Let's see who made that. Oh, Sally Hopkins. I'm sorry. So Sally Hopkins, Los Alamos. Sally, who, she kicks all the extra points, and so Sally comes into the ball game, and I don't know what her record is this year, but it's very, very good. So Sally puts it through, and so the Hilltoppers suddenly are up 21-0. And Mike, let's see, what do we have go off the clock there? 13 seconds.
Yeah, so in just about 2 minutes and 2 seconds, Los Alamos has scored 3 touchdowns, 2 minutes and 2 seconds of game time.
Unbelievable. So they sit there at 8-6, and the half is essentially over. And we score 14 points in about a minute and a half, and then start the second half off and score with 13 seconds gone in the half, and Malachi Gutierrez takes it into the end zone. So the Hilltoppers now lead 21-8, and Charles Steinkamp puts it in out of the end zone once again. And so,
Yeah, so the Patriots will start at their 20-yard line, down 21-8. So I imagine the Patriots are a little shell-shocked here as they head into the huddle. Topper defense has been mostly up to the task this afternoon. Let's see if they can keep that up as they break huddle. And so I think we have a new quarterback in there. I think that is Clayton Hall. He is currently under center. And he takes the snap, and he's going to hand the ball off. Straight up the middle, taking a slight cut off of a left guard. And that ball carrier is Paredes, and he's going to pick up a couple. It's going to make it 2nd down and 8, ball at the 22-yard line. So slow developing play there, but Clayton Hall right now. He was under center for that last play. Let's see.
Let's see if he's still out there. God, that stupid door.
Yes, he is. And he's going to wind up and throw. Nice throw. And that's caught by Chris Chavez down the sideline, still going. Slips a tackle down to the 20, down to the 10. Finally wrestled out of bounds. No, they're going to call him out of bounds at the 12-yard line. But just a go route, and Hall finds Chavez, catches him in stride. Chavez slips a tackle by the topper corner, and it was bound down. Finally, they spin him out at the 12-yard line. What a pass!
Yeah, this has been one great, like you were saying that during the break, that I wonder what the second half is going to bring, as crazy as that first half was. But yeah, I mean, a great boy. I mean, how many yards was that play that they started at the 20, right?
Yeah, 68 yards on the pass play. What and boy, nothing fancy about that, but Hall just dropped that pass right in his lap.
Yeah, so yeah, and then I thought they were going to bring him down after he'd gone about maybe 40 yards or so, but boy, he just kept right on going. So
a ball on the ground.
Yes, it is.
Looks like
let's see who.
Oh, looks like the Toppers came up with it.
Yeah, and I didn't see who recovered the fumble. Well, anyway, so let's see if they're what they're calling here. Yeah, they're going to say that the ball came out, and it'll be Topper football, I do believe.
Wow, the ball went straight down to the ground. I thought the Miyamura runner actually was able to fall on it without any problem, but didn't come up with it.
I was looking at him, and so Jacob Sandoval was, he should have been called for a false start, but anyway, he takes off and he just gets the snap straight to him, goes straight up the middle, and picks up about 5 yards or so. And so the Hilltoppers, let's see the ball right now.
I don't think the clock is running. No, they started now, but
yeah.
Green in trouble, and he is buried at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, so the Hilltoppers deep in their own territory. Once again, they spot the ball down about the 12. And the Hilltoppers right now are looking at the third down, and about 7 yards to go for the first down on their own 12. He's trying to draw this team off. He almost did. And so Jacob going to move Nieto over from the left side to the right side, fakes it to Nieto, pass right up the middle, is caught, and whoa, boy, and that is Caden Thornton once again. So on a slant route coming from the right side, and he just ran a slant to the left, right out into the under the coverage, and boy, perfect pass that time from Jacob Green, and the Hilltoppers pick up the first down.
Nothing fancy about that, just a slant route from the slot, but he was wide open immediately. The Miyamura safety gave him all kinds of cushion there, and he had no problem with catching the ball. Nice throw from Green, and
ball's on the ground, picked up by Miyamura, heading to the end zone, and that is Alden Macias. And I mean, they were in the shotgun. This was I cannot believe this ball game. They were in the shotgun, and the snap was high. It hit It hit Jacob in the shoulder pad on the left side. Hit his left shoulder pad, bounced up into the air, and then Jacob going for it. He couldn't get to it, and then the ball squiggled away from him, and then the ball was just scooped up. I think that was Jeremiah Paradis, I do believe, number 40. Anyway, he all he did was just scoop the ball up and run to the, or was that Macias? I can't remember.
I think it was Paradis.
Yeah, Paradis. Anyway, so he just scooped the ball up and ran to the end zone, untouched. There wasn't anything in front of him but green. But the Hilltoppers had made that really nice play, and then the pass, that snap, like I say, it just hit Jacob. You could see it right smack in the shoulder pad. That came off of there, and of course then the scramble for it. But then it's just, I think that was Paradis. Just, all he did, he just scooped it up. He didn't really, had no problem at all. Usually, they try to scoop him up and they can't get a hold of him. He just scooped that thing right up and took off.
No problem. Just like a shortstop. No problem at all. And it rumbles into the end zone. Boy, oh boy, we haven't had a regular scoring play yet. I don't
think we have. So it's going to be 1st and 10. Pass over into the flat, and that is good for the touchdown. And the pass is complete now to number 2, good old number 2, and we had a different quarterback, Mike. That was Aiden Macias.
I wonder what's going on with the Miyamura quarterbacks. Anyway, that's going to make it 21-16 in favor of LaSalle. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this is crazy. And so that was Aiden Macias. They list him as a tight end, but he's only a freshman. But he came in, anyways, so with the pass.
That was a nice pass, too, right in the corner.
Yeah, it really was.
So 21-16 is... Oh my goodness! This game is this is a wild one.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
It really is. Joshua Thomas will tee it up, and he will kick it away. But the Hilltoppers score. They score right away as they return the second half kickoff, and then they hold after Miyamura did a good job of getting the ball down the field, and then they hold, and the Hilltoppers cough it up, and this one's going to be essentially an onside kick. I don't think it was intended to be an onside kick, but the wind, God, the door came. We're on the end of the press booth, and the door is locked from the outside, and we can't shut it from the inside. So it just blows open from the inside, and all our papers go everywhere. But anyway, it looked like the kick was very, very short, and I don't know if they were trying an onside kick or he just missed it or what, but there was a big, huge scramble for it, and the Hilltoppers got up with it at their own 44-yard line, 1st and 10. Jacob takes the snap. He's going to come around the left side, so Green, and he's not going to go anywhere as Dylan Joynes just right there. He just comes in and just lays him down. I thought he might have a little bit of running room, but nothing doing.
Yeah, Joynes coming up from his safety spot. Actually, it looked like Green might have had a chance to turn the corner there, but Joynes just flat out came in and then put a good lick on him.
So a pass over under the right side, and we see we're going to be very close to a first down.
That was Thornton with the catch.
Yeah, Caden Thornton. And, let's see. He's going to be actually a couple of yards short, as it turns out. And if I can tell you, if I was Garrett Williams, this would be 4-down territory for me.
I don't think there's any question about it here.
The way this ball game is gone. So the Hilltoppers now with 3 receivers out to the left, 1 out to the right. And they fake the handoff to Jeremiah, give it to Tiki. Tiki just, you talk about plowing through the line. I mean, he got hit at the line of scrimmage, but leading the block for Los Alamos that time was Matthew Manale, and he's a 5'7", 250-pound senior. But he led the block, and boy, right behind him was Tiki, and boy, I mean, the two of them just plowed their way forward. Jacob with a quick pass. This is complete, and to Jeremiah Hartzall, and he's only gonna pick up maybe 2-3 yards. Let's see where they get spotted down here. Well, he gets a terrible spot.
Oh brother, come on. So
my God.
Jeremiah caught it about the I'm going to say about the 42. He was hit and he was kind of spun down back to the 41, and they're going to mark it at the 41.
Yeah.
That's it. Not where he goes down, is where he was initially hit.
Jacob in all kinds of trouble, running for his life. Now he airs it out, and we're going to have an interception, I do believe. And that was intercepted this time by Dylan Joynes to safety. And he was right there. The snap came to Jacob. Green took off, and boy, I mean, he was under pressure immediately. He actually ran backwards about 20 yards. Finally was able to turn the corner and head up down the sideline. But then he let the pass fly, and it just bounced off of somebody and right to Dylan Joynes.
Trying to force it into traffic, Gene. Jake would have been much better just eating that one.
Yes, he would. Yeah, he really would. So there's a delay on the handoff. So we really haven't seen that much. The Hilltopper, let's see, is that number 40?
Yes.
Yeah. So the ball carrier was Jeremiah Paredes again. But that time they put a lot of people back there in that shotgun, and then let's see, I believe Clayton Hall is still the quarterback, I believe.
Yeah, we're not sure what happened to Isaiah Martinez.
Well, let's see, is that number?
Well, let's see.
Number is he?
Well, actually, that might be Martinez again. No. No, that's Hall.
Yeah, it's Clayton Hall.
And a pitch to the right side. That goes nowhere.
And that'll bring up third down. And we're going to have about third and 6 to 7 yards for the first down. The ball right now sitting right smack at the 40-yard line. Those are the ball at the 40 in Miyamura territory as we in the third quarter here.
5.5 remaining in the third quarter, and I don't know what Sean Reeves wants to do if they don't get this.
Yeah,
I don't see why he wouldn't go for it.
Clayton Hall got a man open downfield. We're going to have interference called on Los Alamos. There's the flag.
Yeah, that was a late flag. I didn't think they were going to call that for a second, but unfortunately, Jake Sorensen on the coverage. Ball was a little short. The receiver stopped, and unfortunately, Jake ran into him, and he wasn't looking for the ball. That's the big thing. You have to have your head turned looking for the ball, and Jake did not do that. So that is going to draw the flag every single time.
Well, the interference occurred down around the 30-yard line of the Hilltoppers, but in high school football, what it boils down to is it's a 15-yard penalty. But they march it off from the original line of scrimmage. So it's a 15-yard penalty, and then the Hilltoppers, and then it used to be an automatic first down, but then they did away with the automatic first down. So if you get a 15-yard penalty, but you don't make the first down, you don't get it. So
that's rough.
Yes, it is. So they do have the first down, and they are at the Hilltopper 45-yard line.
And that pitch going to Martinez. Martinez lined up as the tailback there. So yeah. Martinez, who was the quarterback in the first half, so we weren't sure if he was hurt or not. He's not hurt. They switched positions. Hall is the quarterback now, and that pitch going out to Martinez, he's not going to pick up much, about one. But I couldn't figure out where he was. He's been on the field the whole time.
So now they're going to bring out the 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left, and then they're going to hand it off to the slot back coming around from the left side, and he's just going to run into all kinds of people. And that was Chris Chavez, and boy, a bunch of Hilltoppers come flying through there to drop him down. So he maybe picked up maybe a half a yard, maybe. So the ball anyway right now is at the 44-yard line of the Hilltoppers. 3rd down and 9 for Miyamura. And so Clayton Hall back at quarterback. He's going to roll back. He's going to air it out. He's got a man open, overthrows him. Pass intended once again, this time for Chris Chavez.
And he was open.
Yes, he was.
Just could not connect with him. So 4th down and 9 here for the Patriots. And remains to be seen what it is they're going to do. Looks like the offense is still out there. So
yeah, they're lining up again. So 4th and 9, they went for it before. So let's see if they'll do it again. Yep, they're going to go for it. Hall dropping back. He's got a man open. The pass is going to be intercepted. And that's not what you want to do. Unbelievable. If he knocked that pass down, the Toppers would have gotten the ball at the 45-yard line. But they're going to get it where he intercepts it back around the 20. These kids need to go out and play street football for a while.
That's what I've always said, when you're playing street football, you make that mistake exactly one time, and then your brother comes and punches you in the nose for being an idiot.
Yes.
And intercepting a 4th down pass. So essentially, that's a punt.
Yes, it was definitely. So 4th down on the 45, and they throw it down to the almost to the 25.
Well, the 23, it looks
23, and then we intercept it. And we get the highlight reel, but we also lose about 20 yards.
Now, making Sports Center is the important thing, Gene.
That is the important thing, and Jacob Green is going to be run down. Boy, I'm telling you, big time as he tried to turn that corner, and coming in, our mystery player number 2, and then he was joined by William Weaver. And boy, they just dumped Jacob.
Boy, and that number 2 has just been all over the place today. Need to find out who he is.
And I'm surprised that they say that he picked up about a foot. I'm surprised he even got that.
I thought they dropped him for a loss.
Bad snap.
Oh boy!
And let's see, that was a direct snap, and I think that was going to go back to Tiki, and it was high. Yeah, and it was a high snap. Tiki just reaching up for it, knocked it straight up in the air, and then he was able to fall on it. But the Hilltoppers now with a huge loss.
That's about a 7-yard loss.
Yeah, puts them back to the 14-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
Never should have intercepted that pass. Yeah, they just don't. I don't know why they don't learn that, but they don't.
We got to take a timeout on the field by the Hilt.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. This is the nuttiest game I've seen in a long time.
It really is. 2:45 to go in the third quarter. Hilltoppers leading by 5, 21-16. But, boy, we have had a bit of everything.
So, I'll let Gene a little tangled up with his headphone cord there, so I'll let him figure it out. While we have the timeout, though, 2:45 remaining, and neither team's been able to hang on to the ball so far. The Toppers, with a key fumble a little while ago by Green, and then just barely hanging on to the ball there was Nieto on the direct snap. I don't know if they're having trouble with their shotgun snaps or what's going on, but none of those have been close. So 3rd down and forever here for Los Alamos, deep in their own territory.
Jacob is going to Aired out. He completes it. And Hilltoppers are going to pick up the first down. It looks like all the way out to the 40-yard line. And they do it. Unbelievable. So that was Tiki Nieto, right? Who got that pass?
Yes.
Came over to and just took off toward the left sideline.
26-yard screen pass on 3rd and forever. Moves the chains.
Yeah, they do pick up the first down. And like you say, it was 3rd and I don't know what, 20-something. Jacob Green once again passes almost picked off again. As Isaiah Martinez, he deflected it, and he deflected it right to our mystery player number 2, who wasn't able to get a hold of it.
We got one of the Patriots down now about the 35-yard line. Can't see who that is, but a dangerous pass there by Green. Green's been trying to throw into some tight windows. Now he pops up like he was doing the worm or something. That's Larry Silva. No problem there for Larry. He's gonna have to come out, but he's been hit hard in this game, Larry, several times. But just did one of those. He used to do that in the WWF. Just one guy could do that all the time. That was pretty.
Yeah.
It's like Mr. Perfect or something. I don't remember his name, but
yeah,
that was pretty neat. But Larry gonna go off and.
Yeah, 2:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Hilltoppers leading 21 right now to 16. There's a high snap again. Jacob's able to pull it down, pass over onto the left sideline to Jeremiah Hertzall, and that one is going to go in and out of his hands, out of bounds.
Well, he's about to take a lick too. I think he saw the safety coming and took his eye off the ball just for a second, and that was enough to make him juggle and drop it. But he was about to take a lick.
I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy game. I mean, the Hilltoppers, they fumbled the ball, and then give it to Miyamura. The Hilltoppers then intercept it, and they score in it takes them about 30 seconds to score the touchdown, all the way the length of the field. And then this is the kind of situation we have here. We have 3rd down and, forever. And they complete this beautiful pass, pick up a big gain. And now, once again, we're looking at 4th and 13. I mean, I cannot believe the inconsistencies in this ballgame have been amazing.
So Tauber's going to kick it away. That's Steinkamp back.
And he boots it, and waiting for it was Chris Chavez back there. And that one's going to go, whoa.
Wow, that made it to the end zone, but not by much.
Barely.
And Chavez, actually, he probably did the right thing to let it go because it had some skip to it, but about the 3-4 yard line, it really slowed down. It for a second, it didn't look like it might get to the goal line.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think it was going to go in there for a minute. But that'll bring it out to the 20. And Mike, 21-16 ball game with 1:29 to go. This ball game is not over by a long shot.
No, this could go any number of ways. We have no idea.
So they're going to give it now. They're going to hand it off once again to Paredes. Jeremiah trying to come around the left side. He cannot. As the Hilltoppers with great penetration that time.
Nice play there. I think that was Blair over on that side to help bring him down for about a yard pickup. But this is where the game might get interesting. Miyamura just huge up front. How much gas is that taken from the Topper defensive line?
Yes, and like we say, they line up old Hector. I mean,
he is a one-man wall.
Yeah, 6'5", 320 pounds. So So they get ready to go once again. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. And they're going to, and Clayton Hall is going to be dumped for a huge loss. And that's going to take him all the way back to the 15-yard line.
And Valdez in on that play, and I think Blair again. And even Jordan Quintana getting in on that. So big loss there, back to the 15-yard line. But Blair, nowhere to go there, just immediate pressure.
Yes, it was. I mean, it was right now. So that's going to make it 3rd down.
3rd and 15, and that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. So just this garden variety run-of-the-mill game, Jane, going into the 4th quarter. 21-16.
Yeah, pitcher's duel.
Wow, this is a wild one. So Toppers coming up with a touchdown in that quarter, as did the Patriots. Touchdown and an extra point for the Toppers. Touchdown, 2-point conversion for the Patriots as we walk to the other end of the field. But,
literally.
Yeah, just we have seen just about everything there is to see in this ball game. We still got a quarter left. I'm not even going to speculate how this is going to go.
Absolutely amazing. So let's say they're going to bring the ball back to the 15-yard line and put it down, and it's going to make it 3rd down, and it's going to be 3rd and 15 for Miyamura. So.
Oh, and we just we have a score here, Gene, down from Sandia Prep. The Hilltopper boys dropping their finale at Sandia Prep 1-0.
They lost. And wide open. Did he get it? No, he did not. And Isaiah Martinez, he was way ahead of everybody downfield. A beautiful pass, and nobody was there covering for him as he got by Jake Sorensen, and he was wide open. And that pass just barely. He out there diving for it, and it just barely missed his fingers. I mean, he almost had that, but I don't know if he'd have been gone, because I think he would have had to dive for it. He probably would have gone down, but wow, that would have been a humongous gain. So
he was open too. He had about 5 yards on his man, just the ball a little bit overshot.
So Abdul Alai back in punt formation, as it's a 4th down right now and 15 from their own 15. So Abdul moonball, and that's going to come down right at the 50-yard line and go out of bounds at the 45.
And Malachi Sears, he thought about catching that and then pulled back the last second.
Yes.
And that actually probably a good decision. That was a wobbly kick.
Yes, it was.
So Toppers take over at their own 45-yard line. 11:44 remaining here in the 4th quarter. And 5-point ball game.
Yes, dangerous.
And
a touchdown by Miyamura wins the ball game. But the Topper boys lost.
They lost 1-0 to Sandia Prep. Sandia Prep is a tough customer. Don't get me wrong there. They are.
Tiki Nieto takes the handoff straight up the middle, but he can't get away this time. He cannot get away from Emmanuel Desiderio. And as he was hanging onto his foot, but he does pick up a couple of yards, makes it 2nd down and 8. But quick pass over onto the side, and this was going to be, and that one is going to be complete, and that's to Jeremiah. Let's see, to Caden Thornton. And Thornton is going to pick up about 3 yards, so it's going to make it now 3rd down and 5. The ball, nose of the ball right at midfield.
That was a tough catch. That was on his hip pocket there.
Yes, it was. So third and an important 5 here for Los Alamos.
Looks like Tauber's changing the play at the line of scrimmage.
All right, over, kill.
Oh, and then okay.
Yeah,
Garrett Williams didn't like what he saw, and he's going to jump up and call the timeout. I think Tauber's down to 1. 1 timeout remaining here.
Yes, they are.
10:33 left, but Garrett Williams saw something that just did not agree with him.
Yeah, so, but anyway, that loss by Los Alamos, Sandia Prep I know is very, very good. And they're playing at Sandia Prep, but what makes it kind of interesting, Mike, is that's the last game of the season, and tomorrow they're going to do the seeding for the state tournament, and so that the one thing you don't want to do is the day before the seeding is lose your game when when you want to be one of the top 4 in the seeding.
Yeah, and I don't know if that'll hurt Los Alamos or not, but. Just giving them that last not best impression. That's usually not what you want to do. That may not affect them at all.
I wouldn't think it would.
Sandia Prep, very, very good.
So here we go on 3rd and 5. Takes a handoff to Tiki. The pass is complete to Jeremiah Hartzell, but it's going to be short of the first down, and I mean just barely short. So it's going to be 4th down and a yard. Or Los Alamos, the ball at the 46-yard line of Miyamura.
It looks like the Topper are set up to go for this.
Yeah, so
rolling the dice here. Riverboat gambler Garrett there.
Yes, and they're going to go, and they're going to give it to Jacob Green, and Green is going to pick up the first down. Well, let's see. He picks up the first down, and then he's shoved back 3 or 4 yards.
Very close.
So we'll see what.
I think that was Hartzell that actually got the direct snap. That is right at the stick.
Yeah.
And they're going to give it to. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hartzell makes that with nothing to spare.
No, not at all.
He needed a yard, and he got a yard and about 2 inches.
So first down. The ball at the 45-yard line. So
that's still Hartzell back there.
Yeah, Hartzell back at quarterback right now, and he is dumped down there.
Green on the sideline. He doesn't look like he's hurt. Well, now he's going to go back in the game. That's a little bit kind of a bizarre series there.
Yeah, I ran Hartzell in. I didn't realize Jacob that Hartzell is number 9, Jacob's number 8. I didn't realize that Hartzell had taken over at quarterback, but now Jacob's back in the ball game. And we have 8:50 and the clock moving. Hilltopper's up by 5. They fake it to Tiki, passed down the right sideline.
That's picked off.
And we have it. That is going to be picked up by Miyamura. And coming down, and that is, once again, it's Dylan Joynes. Boy, he's been a tough safety back there, I must tell you. And anyway, so he picks it off, and now with 8:35 remaining here in the ball game, the Hilltoppers hanging on to a 5-point lead. And Miyamura, all they got to do is score a touchdown to take the lead. So right now the Hilltoppers in dangerous territory as the ball is spotted at the 48-yard line of Los Alamos.
I don't understand that decision to throw that at all.
And so Clayton Hall will be under center this time. He's got full backfield back there, and the ball is up, and well, the handoff went to Paredes, and as soon as he caught it, he started bobbling it. Thing went straight up in front of him. He was able to grab it. I thought it was going to come out, but he was able to grab a hold of it, but the Hilltoppers were all over him at that point, and he loses the ball back to into Miyamura territory. The ball is put down with the nose of the football at the 50-yard line and the football in Miyamura territory. And so we're down to 8 minutes to go. And so Miyamura, Clayton Hall, he's going to put Isaiah Martinez in motion, and now he's going to flip it out to him. And Martinez is going to move it across the 45-yard line of the Hilltoppers, and we have a little ankle tackle, and I think that was by Tiki Nieto, who just reached out and just grabbed him by the shoestring. And so the ball now is at the 44-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd down and about 6 for Miyamura, and I'm almost sure this is 4-down territory for Sean Reeves.
I think it's got to be. I mean, there's still 7 minutes left, but this is not a fast-moving offense. This is a very slow, lumbering offense. They may not have, 7 minutes is like having about 3 minutes with the pace they're going.
Yes. So right smack up the middle goes Jeremy Paredes. And good tackle that time by Tiki Nieto, and joining him to bring him down that time for the Hilltoppers was Jahoran Quintana. And so now the ball is at right smack at the 40-yard line, and they need to get to about the 40. Well, they need to get to the 48. 4th and 2. So
big play coming here for both teams.
So what they need to do is to fake the handoff and throw the pass.
Well, they're kind of set up to do that.
Mississippi Gambler. And it's going to go to Paradis, and he's going to pick up the 1st down. And the stop coming in to make the stop for Los Alamos that time was Josh Duran. He's only a 5'9" junior, 155 pounds, and he was going up against Paredes, 6'1", 187. So 6 minutes to go, and Miyamura on the move. They're sitting at the Hilltopper 36-yard line. So a lot of crazy stuff in this ball game. I tell you, I mean, fumbles and interceptions, and Clayton Hall can't find anybody open, so he decides to run it himself, and he's going to move it up to about the 30-yard line. But he just looked downfield. He had pretty good protection, but he couldn't find anybody open, so he just tucked it under. And he's going to pick up about 6 yards. So it's going to make it 2nd and 4. And the ball now is going to be setting right on the 30-yard line. And the clock is moving as we get down to 5 minutes. Whoa. We're coming down to the wire, Mike.
We really are. And like I said, Miyamura is... They're very slow coming out of the huddle. Yeah, they take forever to snap the ball, so that this is a short clock for them.
Yes. So Hall's going to air it out. Pass is complete, and breaking the tackle and heading into the end zone is Oscar Flores.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and unfortunately, yeah. And the thing is, Jeremiah Hartzell, he had a hit on him at the 5-yard line, but Oscar just spun away, and so here we go. Is what I said. A touchdown will put him in the lead, and it did.
Oh my goodness!
22-21.
Hall with excellent protection up front. That was kind of a slow developing route there by the receiver Flores, but he does make his cut in. The coverage actually wasn't bad, but he out-wrestled Flores out-wrestled him, and then was able to keep his feet into the corner. Just cannot hang on. Corner route. I think that was Antonio Lovato in the corner. Right off of his fingertips. That was a beautiful ball.
Yeah, I thought he had it. I definitely was, because it was right in the corner, and he was in bounds in the end zone, and put it right in his lap, and it just bounced right out of it. But So now the situation here, Mike, is that the Hilltoppers have a couple of options here that are viable options, and that is that the 4:38 to go, down by 1. Of course, they would like to get it down and punch it in the end zone, but if they can get it close enough for a field goal, I mean, the Charles Steinkamp, he's got the foot. So they have that option if they need it.
Yeah, no, the kicking's no problem. Toppers need to get it into field goal territory. Steinkamp's got a foot, so if they can get it anywhere around the 30, that's going to give him a shot. Anything inside, him or Hopkins should be able to put that in.
So Joshua Thomas comes down. It's going to be fielded by Los Alamos at the 5-yard line, coming down the right side, and he's going to go all the way. There he goes, Malachi Gutierrez. Unbelievable.
No flags.
Holy mackerel. What a crazy ball game. Oh, geez. Unbelievable. And any flags? I don't see any. The officials talking things over or what, but are they going to throw a flag?
They just threw a flag. They just threw a flag for a hold.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Boy,
that flag was not there when Malachi crossed the goal line. They're calling it now.
Yeah, I mean, ridiculous. Malachi goes all the way down the right sideline, picks up scores the touchdown, and then everything was fine, and then like Mike says, they were down celebrating in the end zone and everything, and then this all of a sudden, out of the pocket of one of the officials comes a flag. And like Mike said, they threw the flag back around let's see, they're going to say
the 35, 38 yard line. They're going to push him back to the 28.
Yeah, so
that was not initially called.
No, it wasn't, because if that hold would have occurred at the 38, they should have thrown that flag immediately, because in about 2 seconds everything was past the 38-yard line. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, brother.
Just terrible.
Unbelievable. So that's going to negate a 90-yard kick return. And
So Tiki Nieto takes the handoff, and he's going to go straight up the middle to the 35-yard line. And
he's going to pick up about 7.
Yeah, just waiting for him there. That time was Hector Hernandez, the big kid.
7-yard pickup, unless they decide to throw a flag here, Gene.
Yeah.
Still have a chance, but they need to hurry.
That was terrible. Going to get it to Tiki again, and Tiki gets away from Hector Hernandez, the big kid, but Hector was right there. Boy, and he had a hold of him, but Tiki is able to squirm away from him and pick up another couple of yards. So the Hilltoppers now are 3rd down, and the ball right now is at the 36-yard line. They need to get to the 38. They're going to air it out. Whoa. There should be a flag. There is the flag.
Yep.
So that intended for Malachi Gutierrez, and he was shoved just before the passes to get to him. He was shoved from behind. So an easy call for the official, and that's a 15-yard penalty, and it'll be a 1st down for Los Alamos.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty. That wasn't actually a 15-yard pass. That was about a 10, 12-yard pass. So.
Yeah. So.
But that is of no consequence. So the Toppers will get the 1st down, and. I got to tell you, Gene, that wasn't a great pass. There was no need for the interference. I'm not sure. I really don't think he would have caught it.
No, he didn't have a chance. Clock stopped at 3:16. Jacob's going to try to go around the left side. And he picks up some running room as he gets it now down to the 45-yard line.
Pick up about Gonna give him 3.
Yeah, I thought he got more than that.
I thought
but
he
anyway,
did too.
2:50 to go here, and the Hilltoppers down by 1.
Topper's only about 15 yards away from reasonable field goal yardage.
Down the left sideline they go on the pass. So a pass over to the flat, and that one over to Nick Dolan. And Dolan down the left side picks up the first down. So the Hilltoppers on the move as they move it up now to about the 32-yard line. And they see the clock is stopped as they move the change. The Hilltoppers have 1 timeout left. And the direct snap goes to Tiki, and the ball comes out. I'm amazed they didn't give it to Miyamura.
Well, they jumped on it, but that ball came out well after Tiki was on the ground. But Tiki, boy, they were all over him.
Yeah, 2-yard loss.
And I think that was Hector again.
3-yard loss.
That's not the guy you want jumping on you.
No, that's for sure. So now it's going to be 2nd and 13 for Los Alamos. Naked backfield. And pass is caught.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Tiki Nieto. Wow. What a catch by Tiki. And Isaiah Martinez was with him every step of the way. It was a jump ball. Tiki went up. I don't know how in the world he pulled that thing down, went down to the ground, and he hung on to that ball. Unbelievable. Great, a nice pass, but what a fantastic catch by Tiki Nieto.
21-yard pickup.
So they're going to give it to Tiki again. He's just going to plow through once again as he's going to get it down inside the 10-yard line. So, and we'll have a timeout taken. Who's taking it? Okay, Miyamura. So they want to preserve some clock, but right now the Hilltoppers are, well, they have what they need. They are down to the almost to the 8-yard line, and they've got a first down, second down, and about 5. So they're 8 yards away from the touchdown, but they still have the field goal possibility if they need to kick it. So we'll see what they do. A timeout on the field with exactly 1.5 minutes to go. 22 to 21. Miyamura.
So obviously your preference would be to punch this into the end zone.
Oh, yes.
You know, a million things can go wrong when you're trying to kick a field goal. But Topper's plenty of time, and they still have that timeout in their back pocket.
So here we go. 3rd down and 5 for Los Alamos. Or 2nd down and 5. I'm going to correct that. And so the Hilltoppers line up once again. Naked backfield again. Back there is all by himself is Jacob Green. Drops back. Going to air it out. The pass is complete. And diving into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Alamos. Wow. What a beautiful catch that time by Kenny Suazo. Or let me correct that. Caden Thornton, And so Caden, the pass, it was a naked backfield. Only one back there was Jacob Green. He just took one step back, looked over to his right, let it fire, and catching it around the 5-yard line that time was Caden Thornton. And then Thornton, he just broke a tackle, and then he just dives into the end zone, hits the pylon with the football. And so the Hilltoppers come back to score here, and they now go up by score 27 to 22. And so, well, it's an interesting situation here. And so Charles Steinkamp puts it through, makes it 28 to 22. But the interesting situation here, Mike, if they had gone for 2 and gotten it, they would have been up by 7. But once again, we've got that this time a 4-point. Well, it's a 6-point difference now. So if Miyamura is able to score a touchdown, then it would be the extra point situation. But the Hilltoppers have 1:24. The defense has to come out here and hold for 1:24. So here we go. I mean, what a ball game. Unbelievable.
Wow. So 124, and like we were saying, Gene, the Miyamura offense is not built to score in a minute and 24 seconds.
No, they're not.
This is going to be an interesting thing. So if I'm Garrett Williams, I tell Charles, kick it through the scoreboard there. Don't even mess around.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the minute 24, that's about enough for about 2 plays for Miyamura. This one is going to go into the end zone, so it's come out to the 20-yard line. And here we go. Miyamura.
So the Patriots, we have seen them complete some long passes in this ball game.
Yeah, they
and one almost got broke for a touchdown. So they are not without some deep threat. Los Alamos has got to be conscious of that. But really, the only place the Patriots can go at this point in the ball game is down the field.
Yes. Yeah, they got. So Clayton Hall back at quarterback, and he takes the snap, quick pass over onto the right sideline.
That's caught.
And I don't know how. Well, that went to Isaiah Martinez, and I thought he was out of bounds, but they say no, he got it in bounds, and he picks up the first down, and that stops the clock.
Must have got 1 foot in. In high school football, you only need 1 foot. In the NFL, you need 2 feet, but you only need 1 in high school.
So Clayton Hall back at the quarterback once again. So the 1:16 to go. So they are going to air it out at this point. Clayton dropping back again. He's got a man open over on the left side, and the pass is short as he was trying to get it over to this time to Chris Chavez. But there on the coverage for Los Alamos was Caden Thornton. But if the pass had been a good pass, Chris would have been open for it with 1:11 to go. And we have now 2nd and 10. And 28-22. 6-point ball game. Unbelievable. Crazy game. And 2 touchdowns called back for Los Alamos. Clayton Hall again. And he's going to air it out. The pass is incomplete. And boy, coverage for what's it, Chris Chavez, but boy, Caden Thornton. I mean, the pass went through Chris's hands, but the second that the ball hit him, Caden Thornton hit him. And Caden really put a hit on him. So it's going to bring up now 3rd down and 10 with 66 seconds left in this ball game.
Yeah, that was a lick delivered by Thornton. Thornton having himself quite a ball game this afternoon. Big touchdown, and then he broke up that. That should have been a completion.
Yes. So in motion, they're going to send out Chris Chavez over to they're going to try to get him onto the left side. The pass is caught, but covering, boy, great coverage for Los Alamos that time. And, boy, I mean, playing that thing perfectly all the way was Jackson Blair. Because what they did was they took Paredes and put him out into motion over on the left side. And it wasn't any question what they were going to do. They were going to put him in motion, send him over to the side, and then try like a wide screen like that. And so anyway.
And Blair out there on an island with a big, strong kid, but able to wrestle him to the ground. And, wow, that's going to be a considerable loss, actually.
Yeah, well, and the thing about it was Jared Blair, he just sniffed that out perfectly. He knew exactly what was going on. And, I mean, he didn't, as soon as they sent Paredes out to the left, Jackson just started closing in and throws him for a 3-4 yard loss.
Yeah, and actually not a bad play call.
No.
That looked like, I definitely would not have had my defense set up to stop something like that. But Blair sniffed it out. That was an excellent job by him.
He really was. So here it goes. 4th down and 14 for Miyamura. Comes to Clayton Hall. Hall is going to pass it right up the middle. That's going to be short of the 1st down. Then that'll turn it up to Antonio Lovato, but only up to around the 36-yard line. And they needed to get actually up to about the 43. So that's it with 44 and no timeouts for Miyamura. But of course, that doesn't make any difference anyway. The Hilltoppers can easily kneel this one out unless we want.
I certainly hope that's what we do. I'm not betting any money that that's what we're going to do. But that's what we need to do.
We need to kneel down, but there's no guarantee that's what we're going to do.
That looks like when they are in victory formation.
Yeah, they're in the victory formation, all right. So there's the snap, and to Jacob, he goes down on one knee, and so the clock now will run, and it'll be, well, it's 40 seconds or so when they snap that ball, so there'll be about 15 seconds left. The Hilltoppers have to run another one. And one more snap, and that'll do it.
And the Toppers are going to come away with a wild victory in this contest. Wow.
Yes. And there's the final snap. And the Hilltoppers win this one 28-22. And we got a pretty good crowd here today, so a very, very entertaining ball game for the Hilltoppers and Miyamura. So the Miyamura now goes to 0-4 on the district record. The Hilltoppers right now are 1-2, and the Hilltoppers have yet to face Capital next Friday night. Capital in Santa Fe. So, but the Hilltoppers win this one, and boy, you talk about anybody's crazy ball game. I mean, this definitely was that. Wow. I mean, I can't believe all the different bizarre things that went on in this ball game.
Yeah, this was, boy, we saw just about everything there is to see in a football game today.
Yes.
Just, Daubers get a touchdown called back early. Look like they might get shut out in the entire first half and score 2 touchdowns in under 2 minutes to take the lead, and then run the opening kickoff for the second half back. But Miyamura wasn't done at that point. They score again, and the Toppers with not a whole lot of time left on the clock, 1:24, were able to punch it in and finally take the lead and steal this one away. But wacky ball game.
Yeah, it really was, and a nice win for Los Alamos, because this district is a crazy district, because you have the top team in the state in 4A in this district to start things off, and then you have Pedro Vista, who's also one of the top teams in the district. So they put Los Alamos in with the Los Alamos and Miyamura and Capital. They were stuck in this district with the 2 powerhouses, and so that's the way it turned out. All the teams were getting defeated by Farmington and Pedro Vista handily, and then Miyamura went down and lost to Capital last week. I think it was like 22-6 or something. But now the Hilltoppers will go to Capital on Friday night. So that'll be see what the Hilltoppers can do there, because right now what the situation is, it's like who's going to come in third place, and of course that pretty much is what it was dialed up at the beginning. That
we had a pretty good idea who's going to finish 1 and 2 before the season started. Interestingly, in that ball game, though, not out of the run. Capital is not out of the running for a possible at-large bid. they have a decent record and they have a couple of nice wins, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Jaguars are going to be fired up for that game.
Yes.
So that'll be interesting. Jaguars don't need a whole lot of excuse to get fired up for Los Alamos to begin with.
Don't.
But especially, they're going to have something on the line. But for right now, nice win by Los Alamos. They improved to 4-5 on the season. And boy, oh boy, you talk about having the chips down. You talk about, being backed into a corner, facing adversity. Los Alamos faced all of that today and were able to pull out a victory against a team that just would not go away.
Yeah, I know, and it was just that, the times when it looked like Hilltoppers were going to go in the half with once again being blanked in the half in the 2 quarters, and then they come up with 2 quick touchdowns, and I mean quick. It took them about 30 seconds to go from their own 6-yard line down and score, and then they sack the quarterback in the end zone and pick up the fumble for the touchdown. And then it's just, it was just like whenever Los Alamos needed to move the ball, they did. And so that last drive down the field, it was, what we were talking about was they just need to get it in, punch it into the end zone, but they could, all the possibility also was that they could kick a field goal, and they were in field goal range, but they didn't have to do that. And Caden Thornton, once again, boy, that was a nice little catch over on the sideline, and he was covered. They had a couple defenders there, and he just broke one tackle and then just dove for the pylon.
Yeah, and that's the thing on that touchdown. The coverage wasn't bad. The coverage is actually pretty good, but Caden was able to slip out of that tackle and dive for the pylon to put it in. So Caden, we've seen him over the last couple of weeks. He's really blossomed. He has become obviously Hartzell the number 1 threat, but he has become a very legitimate number 2 receiver over there, and he has made some big plays. So good for him. Good to see that for Los Alamos. And like I said, improved to 4-5. If they can pull it out next week in Santa Fe, that gets them to 500. It's been a while since we've been in that. We've been at that 500 mark, so that's good. Yeah,
of course that short COVID season doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, we can throw that out the window.
That was a silly season, but before that, the season before, the Hilltoppers ended up 3-10. So like Mike says, it's been a while since we've been on the winning side or the winning record, but we've had some tough goes, and of course now we're in a tough district, and we'll be in that district again next year. But then after next year, they once again will decide.
They'll realign, and then you can't even guess anymore what's going to happen with football. Just everything's so wacky. You got the 6 classification, and that's not even counting the 8 and the 8-man football teams or whatever. And it's you end up. It's impossible to guess where you're going to end up or anything. And they I think nominally they're supposed to do that kind of geographically. They've never really done it competitively, but this is a crazy geographic district.
Mm-hmm.
They got Los Alamos and Santa Fe. That makes sense. Then you got Miyamura out there in Gallup. That makes way less sense. And then you got the Four Corners teams, which you get 2 Four Corners teams. And, if you end up with a bad draw, you may have to travel to both of them in the same year.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
I don't know. That's a little spread out for me.
Yeah, well, like next year, for instance, if everything stays the same, the Hilltoppers will have to travel to Farmington and to Gallup. So
those are a couple of drives, and but at least with going up there, to play the Scorpions, that's not going to be a lot of fun.
No, that's for sure and stuff. So what we'll keep an eye on now is the seeding by the teams next week. On Thursday, well, not sure what we're going to. Taos comes to town to play volleyball on Thursday, and so we're not sure what we're doing with that. That's Thursday night at 6:00. But next week, that's the only thing for volleyball next week, and then the football team will go to Capitol next Friday night. But the important thing is that they'll have the seeding for the soccer tournament, and we'll have to see whether Los Alamos has a game a game or two on Tuesday. We'll have to wait and find that out. But
and check out the Daily Post. We're going to try to get that up for you as soon as we find out how that all is going to shake out. Not sure what time they're actually doing the seeding tomorrow, but I'll keep an eye on that, and we'll get something posted as soon as we can. So keep your eye on that. But that could be any time between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. You just don't know.
Yes, I see. Well, usually it's very late. So anyway, also, and we also want to thank the Daily Post for making all this possible. Carol Clark, and getting together with John McHale and Nate Limback, and the three of them put their heads together and came up with this system and made it possible for us to broadcast these ball games after the demise of KRSM. We didn't know what we were going to do, so Carol Clark came to the rescue, the Los Alamos Daily Post, and we really appreciate the Daily Post for doing that and for their support of Los Alamos High School athletics. And so I want to thank you, Carol, for doing this for the community and for us. Nice. So anyway, all right, Mike, that's going to do it for us. So final score 28-22 in a wacky football game here this afternoon in Los Alamos. And so we'll see when we'll be back on the air. So like Mike says, check the Daily Post. We'll put it in the Daily Post and let you know what's going on. So this is Gene Mortensen for Mike Mays and for John McHale and for Charlene back there pushing the buttons. And have a great weekend, everybody. And you can make it an even better weekend. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin. But the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And sweetie pie, beautiful day here, honey. But I sure do miss you, and I sure do wish you were here with me. So bye-bye, everybody.
Hi, I'm Troy Hughes with Los Alamos Fire Department, reminding you that fall's upon us and winter's soon coming, so we'll start using our appliances more, like our furnace, our fireplaces. Make sure you get those appliances checked by a certified technician, especially the fireplaces. Make sure you've got a good chimney sweep, get that thing good and clean and ready to burn, and make sure you have a good working CO detector and smoke alarm in your home if you're going to use those appliances.
Hello, I'm Commander Oliver Morris with the Los Alamos Police Department. It's an exciting time to live in Los Alamos. With the increase in hiring at the lab, we've seen more motorists and visitors come to Los Alamos. But with that, we've also seen an increase in traffic. And with traffic, we also get calls of distracted driving, speeding, and sometimes aggressive driving. Please join me in reducing these calls. Our officers are going to be out in force looking for these types of driving behavior. If you see something, please call us at our non-emergency line or our emergency line. We appreciate your partnership in helping keep our community safe, and thank you.